All right, welcome to the Detroit Lions News Podcast. I'm joined by Avery of the Spirit of Detroit podcast, and then we'll be joined by Walt soon. But the link wasn't
hmm
for some reason, and whatever the case may be, I don't. Technology sucks sometimes. But I
hmm
love having this guy on. Spirit of Detroit. You always have the greatest. I love your videos, first of all, and like I know sometimes me and you, we have some disagreements and everything, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
part of this space content, doing
yeah,
sports is not everyone's gonna agree with you, and that's fine. Like me and you have different opinions on Terry on Arnold. You think
yeah,
he's not that good. I think he could be pretty decent. Pretty good if he just learns to not be so handsy, but it
yeah,
is what it
yeah,
is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. There's some merit to Terry on. There's some merit. I mean, I could be positive. Like I could be. I really could do a whole 180 on the whole world. I love Terry on. I could
Oh,
talk like what's one of them people? What's one of them people that be like brainwashed in the movie and stuff?
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
Everything's
I
fine.
believed him in from the first second he got here.
Right,
It
right,
is what it is, but
yeah.
it's been a while. Obviously, I think the last time you joined me, I think we were with the Commanders and the Lions, and that didn't turn out so good. So,
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I got COVID that day.
you got COVID that day?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they called it neurovirus, so it felt just
That's
like COVID.
that's literally what they call it now.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It was awful. I was never sick like that before.
Mm.
Walter Stringer. I was
Ah,
coming. Ah,
hold
man,
on.
I look when I tell you that I love being the three of us, man, and it's such a good time to be doing content with the three of us, man. I swear, man, it's so lit, man. Just doing that, it's lit, bro. I've
Mm-hmm.
never in my life, I've never felt like, oh wow, you do this type content with these guys, you feel that great, and I feel great. So every time y'all come on, man, it's awesome, man. I'd be happy, bro, because I know it's gonna be chemistry, and even if there is like,
I'm going to
what's that
fix this real
disagreement?
quick.
Okay, even if there is disagreements, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the layout right now, but what did I say? You there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I
So
got quiet for a minute, but
do we have viewers? What's going on?
yeah, we got like viewers. We got viewers, so
Okay.
we just trying to. We had some technical difficulties once Walt got in, but Walt, I don't know where Walt went now. But
I don't know.
it is what
I
it
don't
is.
know.
All right, we're gonna talk on this podcast today. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today, like the combines coming up. We gotta go through that because I know Walt and Avery, they're both in on it, bro. They're in
Yeah.
on the combine. They know the people. Me and you were talking about Jahad Campbell before the podcast. Actually, that was pretty fun. But
Yeah.
you know, we're getting down to the free agency, and everything's gonna happen at once. It's literally like this is like the time of the year where everything just happens at once and it blows up. So it'll be a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm but today this is the NFLPA grades. So this was today. It was released today. The NFLPA released these grades. As the players voted on this, and Detroit got. Look at how great Detroit has done since 2023, since Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes got here. They really don't have any D's that like they used to, and the only C plus they have is a locker room, which I hear is going to get redone for some reason. But they're gonna get it all done and everything. But you can see that there's nowhere that they're really lacking behind. Maybe a nutritionist and a dietitian, but their weight room ranked 22nd, which is middle of the league. They had nutritionist and dietitian ranked 23rd, so that's interesting. But they've gotten better in every category. And Walt's back. Cool.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Put it up here.
Let's see how I fit in this time. Oh,
Let me fix this.
It's just your camera. It's just you got to just move it. Just move it. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a big camera. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I'm glad the staff got good grades, but where's the injuries? Because I thought
Well, wouldn't that be under would that be under training staff and training room? And they ranked 14th and 9th. So I don't know what the hell I don't know what the hell that means, but they used to rank 22nd in training staff. So
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah.
I don't know. I look at those injuries that they had this year, and I just look at them as totally bad luck. Like it was total bad luck for every one of them. But
yeah. I'm glad they got good grades. It's the Detroit is no longer a ghetto, so that's great.
I see Ted took a job with the Saints.
Man, I was hoping to get Ted on the podcast because I wanted to have him on this podcast with you guys because I was going to be like, hey, when you trying to go to the combine, what you trying to figure out about their medicals? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he took the Saints job and he's with Kellen Moore now, which is a former Lion. And yeah, good luck to Ted, man. That was great to see that. You know,
I didn't know. This is news to me. This is good. I was trying to have him on,
He had a reel about it. He had a video about it and everything. I saw it first on Facebook.
Well, Darcy mentioned something to me, and he was like, "Can you make a post about congratulating?" I said, "I didn't see nothing from him yet, so I'm not going to be like outing the dude. Like, look, he got a job with the Saints, and he doesn't get the job with the Saints." Like, I was like,
"Right,
I'm not going to do that." And then he posted a video. I was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Hell yeah!" But it is what it is.
Darcy got to do his own work. That's the problem. He's telling you to congratulate him. Did he congratulate him?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah,
I hope so.
I think he did, but it is what it is. So
he don't do his own content, don't own edits, don't do that. Just show up.
Oh boy, here we go. See what he's on fire today. He's on fire. But today we're going to be talking about. But today we got to talk about the combine. We got to talk about free agency and potential trades that you guys want to talk about. But I don't know, man. I did it today. Yesterday, Brett Holmes said this yesterday. He said it's hard to keep them financially. We have one that's due for an extension, and we've already kind of gotten the planning stages about him already. He said about Aiden Hutchinson. So when you talk about adding another one, it's like, well, all right, can you financially add another one because you want to add the other one on top of everything that else you have, and that makes it tough. And then he said he probably wouldn't add someone, but I mean, this is the way I look at it, dude. You guys, I know I talked to Avery before the show, and he was saying how we need 2.5 guys on the defensive line. Now, I'm interested to see where we get the 2.5 guys because, I mean, I think Zadarius Smith could be good with this team, but obviously Lee McNeil is not going to come back till October, or maybe 1st of November or whatever. He's coming off that knee injury, so I mean they're going to need guys. And today they did the formal interviews at the combine, and they a lot of edge rushers, a couple linebackers. Me and Avery were talking about Jahad Campbell, but we know he's going to go in the first round. But they interviewed Kenneth Grant and Josiah Stewart, Howard Cross, and Colin Oliver. I like Colin Oliver a lot, but they interviewed a lot of guys that are just Jack Sawyer, Nick Scruton, Mike Green from Marshall, who used to be at Virginia. So it's going to be interesting. But what do you guys think about the trades, and should they even make a trade? Because I know today Harold Landry, he was granted permission to seek a trade. So that's another guy that you could add into the fold too.
Well, go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
Well, everything he said is what I've been saying since the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I've been preaching that all this time. Listen, at the end of the day, and I agree. But I think a lot of his philosophies towards the team I do share. Now, Avery, I did talk about it with you as far as him finding some balance, because you can't just completely alienate free agency and just think everything's going to be the farm system, because that doesn't always work out either. You look at the Green Bay Packers, they had that approach, and they got a couple Super Bowl rings, but they had 2 damn really good quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of 10-win, 11-win, 12-win fizzle out throughout the middle of that as well. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with him wholeheartedly. I think that if it's not fans' responsibility to really factor in everything that this man's job is, they don't really care about salary caps and what's going on in 2027 and 2028 and 2026. Their job is we want to win now and by all costs, damn it. And, that's the fanatic standpoint of it, I get it. But as Lions content creators, respected Lions content creators, we have to at least be the conscious of all this. We can't get drowned out with a lot of the fandom. We have to bring them back down to reality. And the reality is, like, yes, you're going to pay Aiden Hutchinson. Yes, you want to go ahead and pay Brian Branch early if you can down the road. Yes, you want to be able to keep Kirby. Yes, there's a possibility that you can keep Kirby and Brian for at least one deal together. Seattle managed to do it with Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. So it can happen. The money's there, it can happen. And I think that's probably where he's leaning towards. And if you're him, would you rather have Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch for another 7 years together, possibly on new deals? 28 years old, 29 years old, still in the prime of their careers. I would rather gamble on keeping that intact over giving up the possibility of having that 2 years from now and losing draft picks. And as he explained, other things go wrong as well. People have this idea that you're just going to trade for Myles Garrett or you're just going to trade for Max Crosby and poof, automatic instant Super Bowl. Like that really doesn't happen typically with position players unless they go to a team that already has an established quarterback like that. Like Stafford went to the Rams and it happened. But typically, players don't just go somewhere and win like that. So me personally, like I said, I agree. I'm always thinking about the long haul. I'm an NFL draft junkie, so that's also why I pretty much view things team building wise the way I do. So, but Avery,
yeah,
I know you got a good feeling about this.
Oh yeah, I do.
He's
all accepting the man for who he is,
right,
and understanding who he is. You at the end of the day with Brad Holmes.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna start with Harold Landry, then I'm gonna work my way to Brad Holmes because that's a bigger issue. Harold Landry had 9 sacks last year. That's great. But out of 119 edge defenders, he ranked 114th in his pass rush win rate. So anybody telling you, Rocked on Lines, anybody telling you, let's go get Harold Landry is a joke. First and foremost, I want to point out that most content creators, with the exception of these guys, don't do research. Okay, these guys right here do research. These guys love research. This guy and this guy. This guy's doing research on a hockey team and am I pointing the right way? Oh, wait. Oh no, this guy's doing research on the hockey team. I love the Wings. I know you do. I mean, I wasn't saying you didn't.
All types.
I believe
Buffalo, Dirk, everything.
These guys are legit. These guys I'm with are legit. They know the logistics, and they're not suggesting Harold Landry, who's 28 years old, coming off 9-sack year, but has 31 sacks in the last 3 seasons, I believe. Yeah. I've already done this content. It's so crazy that I'm already ready. Harold Landry, check this out. Why would you trade for Harold Landry when he's a post-June cut? If he's a post-June 1st cut, the Titans are going to say he will be. The Titans going to say $24 million. So you're going to give him a draft pick for free and help him save some money? You're crazy. So Landry, that's not out of the picture. Exactly.
Brandon already calculated that.
Yeah. Anybody looking at Harold Landry or telling you about Harold Landry, another clown. The second thing is Brad Holmes been saying the same thing to people for years, bro.
Yeah.
He's been saying the same thing for years, and it's starting to get old because I watch all his old interviews. I watch his interviews with the Rams, and they always the same. They always the same. So I seen 97 won a ticket today. They said maybe it's gamesmanship. Maybe he's got a secret plan going. Look, man, if y'all holding out some type of hope, I got something for you. This is your Kool-Aid right here. All right. This is a vodka tonic with Everfresh juice. All right. Get this dose of reality. You're not getting you're not getting nobody, bro. It's green.
Ain't no juice in that glass. Come on, man.
Ain't no juice. I'm juiced up. I'm telling you, we're not getting nobody. And free agency's cool, but go ahead.
Well, if you know how it is. When we get to this time of the year, people just like want to throw stuff at the wall. Like they literally do. Like Miles Garrett thing. Like I would love Miles Garrett, and I think every team in the NFL effing would. But the reality of the situation is like, what is it going to cost to get him? And then do you have to give him a contract extension once he gets here? And then from the Brown side, why does it make sense for them to trade dead money, which I think is like $26 million or something like that, if it's not post June 1st. So they would have to wait till June 1st anyways.
Yes.
And I mean they could backdate it, but that doesn't they can get in cap trouble with that too. So and they already got a horrible deal with Deshaun Watson right now. Like they really have no idea, they really have no room for their cap to be like, yeah, let's get rid of Miles Garrett. We can do that. No, they don't have the room.
You got Denzel Ward. If y'all trade Miles, I need to question my future with the team as well. So Denzel Ward, a shutdown corner, who's quietly been a shutdown corner because y'all keep losing. Come on, man. Once you trade one, and then you got Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome on 1 year left on his deal. Said he doesn't want to resign. He wants out. So you're going to lose 3 people for the price of one.
A lot of the youth over there is leaving. Remember too, Jedrick Wills. Like Jedrick Wills was a first-round pick, a top 10 pick, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's a hell of a tackle too.
And they letting him walk. So that Deshaun Watson, man, we don't have to get into that though. But that Deshaun Watson, and I said it from the very beginning, the way the whole situation unfolded just seemed very unsavory. And it was just doomed to fail. Like his situation, what he was going through legally, you pair that with the damn Cleveland Browns. You could pair that with the Jets or something. Like it just seemed like, this will make for a great sitcom.
It didn't really make sense at the start of it, to be honest. Like, and it doesn't make much sense now. It does, and he never wanted to be there. He really never wanted to be there.
You never begged somebody to take your money. Listen, the Pistons went through it with Monty Williams. I'm not gonna beg you to take my money. If I offer you twice and you turn me down twice, I'm not coming back with even more money because I know you genuinely don't effing want to be here. And if you don't want to taking my money,
and if you don't want to be here, why am I going to bring you in? It's kind of the same thing we were talking about with I was talking with the Tigers with Alex Bregman. Like he didn't want to come here. It was clear he didn't want to come here. The Tigers had the best offer to Alex Bregman. And he didn't come, and people were like, why isn't he coming here? Well, they have the best offer. Well, he doesn't want to be here, bro.
Right. Well, we had more money. Like, that's not always the way it works. Right. Some people just genuinely don't want to be in certain cities. Some people want to be with their families. They want to be closer to them. They want to be, some of them away from their families.
Right.
Some of them closer to their other family.
It happens. Go ahead. It's how it is though. Like that's literally how it is. And if you pay them and you get them to come here, there's no guarantee that they come here and they want to go all in with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no here in Detroit, they have a really good culture. So if you bring a guy in that doesn't really want to be here, that could be a big problem, huge problem.
Yeah, and I think that's another core juxtaposition of Brad Holmes is. He cares about what that locker room looks like and how that locker room feels. And I know this is going to be like, I'm going to not keep this long-winded, but I'm going to be very short. I want you to think of, not you guys, the people at home. I want you to think of your hierarchy, military or whatever, your job, whatever it is. And a guy comes on with a lot of money and he comes on and he's doing all this stuff. And he's so great. He's just so great. And he's coming in to save your locker room. He hasn't earned his spot. You heard about him. You know about him. He's named throughout the league. But guess what? He's $20 million. So he's up there with the captains. He's not a captain, but he runs the show because he's making $20 million. He's not going to fold. Then he's got, $20 million, 5 years. That's $100 million. So he's good. 5 years. He know he's gonna be here. You don't. So then he's coming in here, and let's say he shows up. He shows up on Sunday. Then y'all got to give him some type of voice. And let's say he's going against the coach. Let's say he's freelancing on tape. Let's say he's this, and this. I feel like Holmes and Campbell care about the hierarchy of this locker room and how this is and what it is. Like, He wants to build this thing the right way. He wants his best players, his most trusted players, to be the highest paid players. He does not want to bring in these brand new guys to come save the world, and they get hurt, they get injured, or they whatever it is.
Understands how that affects the locker room.
Yeah,
and I said this like back during the middle of the season that if you go out and you bring an outsider in, and you make that outsider the highest paid player on the team, or you make him the second highest paid player on the team, and then you start telling player B, player C, player D, who've been there through the 9 wins, the 12 wins, the 15 wins, some of them the 3 wins.
Yep.
And you tell them, yeah, well, for the betterment of the team, can you take less than market value? Or no. And I think fans need to understand this is why players leave in a lot of situations. There's going to be, regardless of whether they make a Myles Garrett trade or not, or big time trade or not, when it's time for guys' contracts to be up, I think there's going to be some guys that are going to leave on their own, and people are going to be surprised. Like, well, why did he leave? Why did he leave? Maybe because another team was willing to offer what Brad Holmes wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his philosophy is really going to get tested over the next or probably the next 2 off seasons, 2 to 3 off seasons, because you're going to have to pay some people. Like, let's be honest. They're talking about Javon Holland possibly being a $20 million a year safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If Brian Branch continues on the trajectory he's on, we've been talking about Kirby. If he continues on the trajectory he's on, this dude is a $22 million a year safety.
Right. No one was talking about this, but
he's a bona fide difference maker. Like, he's an equalizer out there on the field, a weapon X. Like, teams want that now in the new era of the defense, where everybody's trying to run either a 4-2-5 or some different variation of a 3-3-5 tight, and everybody wants to get more DBs on the field now. When you can have those guys like you can use as a weapon, like Brian Branch, you for damn sure don't want to lose that.
No,
right? Because this is just.
But
oh, go ahead.
You know how people are though. They focus on like what's the what's going to be headlines. Like, I think there's a lot of content creators that are like, oh, like I would be all for them trading for Myles Garrett. I'd be happy as hell. I'd be like, hell yeah, guys. But the reality of the situation is like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they have to think about not just this year, but the next year and the next year, because this is their job. You know what I'm saying? They can't just think about, oh, let's go all in for next year and that's it. And like it's a fallacy of some of these Lions fans. They're like, oh, our Super Bowl window is dead. Like, it's like, bro, it takes one draft and one player to extend your effing window. Yeah. Like, it really does.
That's why you got to build through the draft to get that player cheap. See, people will talk about, what's crazy is people talk about, well, what were sports? Getting a player at 28 is different from getting a player at 2. Yeah, it's less expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
It's less expensive.
Well,
and
look
you
at what
can get a quality player. George Karlaftis was picked at 28.
Well, look what the Eagles did.
TJ Watt, look what the Eagles did at 22. They got a shutdown corner.
Also, people fall. Multiple people fall every year to 16, 17, 18, 19. Now you're talking about moving up 7 to 8 spots, which is a whole lot damn cheaper. People are gonna fall. It happens every year, man.
Well, you got to find the diamonds in the rough. I mean, like, look, did you think Kirby Joseph, when you drafted him, was going to be a all-pro safety? I guarantee you that.
All pro.
I got the videos. I got the videos.
I thought I didn't think he'd be an all pro. I really didn't, but like, I mean, it's a great pick, and it's like that. And then you look at like Amon-Ra, like that. You didn't really expect that. It's those kind of picks that
I knew St. Brown was going to be a good player.
That's
to this level,
That's
he's been a beneficiary of playing within the offense his first 4 years. Also, that they've exploited him a lot, which they should, because he's been their best overall wide receiver. Think about it; he's been their best receiver since his rookie year.
Yep.
Look. Ashanti was telling this man, "Hey, look, Kirby Joseph." Okay.
Yeah, but nobody was talking about. Man, it's kind of hard to pick all pro though. I mean,
it really,
it all depends on what defense a guy goes to and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I just look at a guy like Walt. You loved this guy last year, and the Rams got him, Brandon Fisk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Braden Fisk.
Yeah, Braden Fisk. You were high on him, and I was high on Byron Young from Tennessee, and he went to LA too. So
I just don't get what
what
people look at. Like when you watch film, it's like, okay, so we sat down and we watched the LSU game, and you walked away from it with a completely different outlook on it than I did. It'll have you wonder, like, well, so what the hell am I seeing? But then you realize that all of these people on television, man, they're not sitting down and really watching the way you think because they have a name. That's the whole thing. It takes a lot of time to really understand these players, flaws, positives, everything. It takes a lot of time. And when these people come up with these, okay, these are my top 20 defensive tackles and my top 20 wide receivers and my top 20 guards, like really, you know how long it takes to thoroughly put together a list like that competently.
It's not easy at all. I think I stick to the top 10, and sometimes I'm guessing at that point too. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, you watch so much football over the past 8-9 months to the point that you know who you like. You watched enough film.
Yeah.
You've seen enough. And then after the combine, it's like, okay, check mark for him, check mark for him. He's went from a third to a second. But yeah, I mean, Braden Fisk was a guy I'm like, okay, you don't like him because of his body type. And then he's a white defensive tackle. So listen, I'm gonna say that too, and that's some bullshit. Because all Chris Sims talked about was his short, stubby arms, and he got a funny high cut build. And I'm like, okay, but if we watching the film, like me and this man did the film with him and Jared Verse versus LSU, and I believe it was the second play of the game where he started all the way over in the A gap on the right side of the defensive line, got double teamed, and managed to make the tackle all the way outside in the C gap by just working two guys all the way down the line. Until he got there and made the tackle. And there were three other Florida State Seminoles standing around when he made the tackle.
That's what happens when you watch the game film compared to the highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like
some people don't value that type of stuff. They value just the pass rush.
Yeah, they go on Woolworth Sports, and what they do is they start showing YouTube highlights, breaking down what happened on the play that they heard the previous day. This is a guy, and they started getting their laser pointer out, saying this is a guy that I think, and they don't know what they're looking at or looking for. And I tell you what, if I'm wrong about another draft pick again, I'll quit. Because I was never wrong. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But no, I think, hey, listen, but the Rams, like, there's certain organizations that have reputations for certain things, drafting certain players well. Like the Jags have always drafted wide receivers well, and like defensive players, edge rushers, linebackers, stuff like that. Certain teams just have that ability overall.
The Rams do a good job too drafting defensive players. I don't know what it is.
They got him and Verse.
I know.
Like you allowed that to happen. Like how do teams allow that? You allowed them to get the defensive tackle, and he was in the perfect position because he went to a team that was loaded with pass rushers around him.
Yep.
He's going to eat naturally off of all the attention Byron Young gets, Jared Verse gets, Kobe Turner gets.
Yep.
Yeah.
They added those guys like Fisk and Verse to like an already good defensive line room. So, I mean, even though they were losing Aaron Donald, I mean, they still had guys like Byron Young and Kobe Turner. Those are dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't do much better than that. But it's insane what some of these people put out there. Like, I don't get it.
Hey, it's okay because we got content like us. We got guys like us who value what's going on. And I'm getting a comment right here, like you're saying that Lions ignore corners and D line, and we drafted a corner in the first round. You've ignored corner till last year. You've ignored it, and then you've been putting in patchwork this whole entire time. The longest tenured free agent that you got was you got two tied. You gave a 3-year deal to Montgomery, which you just extended. You gave a 3-year deal to Cameron Sutton, and Sutton was never the guy That's why these fans are so weird to me. Like I get these comments on my feed, like you're saying we ignore a corner, but we got Terry on. Was he better than Wiggins? Was he better than Kamari Lassiter?
No.
When you look at the stats, when you look at the film,
Cooper
was he better
DeJean.
than anybody? Was he better than Cooper DeJean? Like,
No.
what are y'all looking at? Y'all like his smile. Stop telling me y'all love Terrion because he's a great player. Because he's allowed 700 yards. He's allowed 700 yards. 5 TDs. I can't make this up, bro. He has the same numbers as a guy named Vildor, and you hate him. So don't tell me, bro. Don't tell me a 103 passer rating is just the greatest guy in the world. I got this comment on my YouTube page. I went to it, and these guys, I swear, I'm like, he's allowed 700 yards, and Vildor has never allowed more than 700 yards. He's allowed the same catches and the 103 passer rating, but it just killed me, bro.
I mean, it just goes with the saying that it goes. I mean, like some of these fans are like, they have hope that Terrion Arnold is going to be good. Like I have hope that Terrion Arnold is going to be good. I think Terrion Arnold has a chance to be really good. He has to get better in year 2. You can't go from what you did in year 1 to year 2. It has to be better. Right. It has to be like the Slay trajectory. Like Slay in his first year got benched for Rasheed Mathis. Like he even talked about it on St. Brown's podcast. And I was like, you know what? Cool. If you get benched and then you become a better player, fine. I could deal with it. But like to say like he's already a good player and he got nothing to work on. Like there's some people that think that. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to live up to what people want him to live up to here. I think he can be a good player, and I'm going to stick to my guns. I believe he can be he's destined to be a really good nickel. Mm-hmm. I just view him as that, always have viewed him as that. Now, do they want him to be this number 1 shutdown guy? That's what they want him to be. I don't think he's that. Because when it comes to the cornerback position, I'm a traits guy. Always have been. You take a look around the league, even some of the guys that haven't been the best for the longest, even guys like L'Jarius Sneed, Charvarius Ward, those are 6', 6'1" guys that with long arms that can run and can make things like you. Mm-hmm. The wide receiver position is just too infested with way too many big time athletes. 6'4" ones, 5'9" ones, 5'11" ones, 6'1" ones, 6'2" ones, 45-inch verticals, 38. You need to have some athleticism. Now, is the athleticism the end all be all? No, it's not. But you need to be able to match. Same thing on the offensive line with defensive line. Mm-hmm. The more things evolve, you have to evolve right along with it. Mm-hmm. You need to have some athleticism out there on the boundary, on the perimeter, man, or you can get smoked every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
These wide receivers are too good. They're man beaters. I was talking to a scout from the Senior Bowl a few weeks ago. Like these wide receivers that come into the league over the past 10 years, all they do is practice 7-on-7 since they're like 11 to 12 years old.
Yeah.
So they come into the league man coverage killers. So you better be able to cover one-on-one on the outside, man-to-man some. You can't play zone all day. Offensive coordinators are too good. They'll destroy that zone. Right. So you need to be able to play some sort of man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look at their own division. I mean, God forbid if the Packers got T. Higgins, I'd lose my effing mind because the
Vikings.
The Vikings got Justin Jefferson and they got Jordan S. And
we'll go get Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh,
wow.
And that'll fix them.
Wow.
One year, 500,000.
The Packers, man, if they ever spent money at if they went out and spent money for T. Higgins, I would literally I'd be effing shocked.
And you know what's funny? They can do that if they release
Jair
Alexander, they'll have 17 million.
Trade him.
Yeah, well, they're trying to trade him, get that free pick. But if he's a post June cut, like we talked about with Harold, if he's a post June cut, they say $17 million. They take some dead cap on the next year, but it's all good because he's been injured the last 2 years. He hasn't been elite. But get this. You take that same $17 million you save and you get that to T. Higgins, boy, and now you got an elite number 1 wide receiver. See, everybody's getting better. And even if in the NFC where it's not quarterback driven per se, and we have an elite quarterback. He's top 10, which I think is elite. I know some of y'all are gonna say top 5, whatever. Not y'all, of course, not y'all. But I know the fans, when I say Jared Goff's top 10, they were like, who's better than him? And I start naming names, and then y'all get mad. So I think he's a top 10 quarterback. Everyone in this division is aiming for our neck. Okay, the poverty-stricken Bears, poverty-stricken, poor people Bears, the Bears, I need food stamp credit card Bears. They're right on the cusp of going 9-8. They think they could beat us at least one time. And I wouldn't put it past them because this defense is so atrocious. We had no sacks against the Bears. How you have no sacks? Well, when you went to Chicago, you had 1 sack on a blitz with, I think, Nowoski, but the quarterback held the ball too long. But you had no sacks.
He did that all year long. So
you had no sacks rushing 4. And then on Jane Daniels, they had no sacks rushing 4. The pressures that you got were only on blitzes, and you pressured that quarterback 12 times on 20 blitzes, and guess what? He diced you up for 329 plus, and then you know what he said? I'm not even going to run. I'm going to let my arm do the talking. And he came in your house and he beat you. I need a defensive line that's capable of staying healthy, Levi Onwuzurike. I need a defensive line that's capable of getting the quarterback. Yeah, exactly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Get that $15 million from somebody who's poverty-stricken, because I'm not about to do it with you. I'm not about to have you over here. He's Levi. He's our guy. He's gritty. I don't need none of that. I need star players, impact players on the D-line. I need 2 of them. I need an edge rusher and a defensive tackle. And I'm going to tell you right now, if the Bears beat us one time, I'm going to have a problem, because this Brad Holmes is saying the defense is okay and all this is okay. We were pretty good against Arizona. Who is Arizona, bro? What has Arizona been good? Since 2009 when they went to the Super Bowl? What are you talking about, bro? We were doing pretty good against Arizona.
Yeah, I just think it came down to the defense was decimated by injuries, and Hutch was a huge part, but they didn't have anyone opposite Hutch. And when Lee McNeil went down, that was it. That was where I said that's where I drew the line, dude. That was it.
I'm gonna say this. I think ultimately nowadays you need 2 playmakers at every level of defense. And we were down 2. Hutchinson was out for the season, and then we didn't have another one. We need a unicorn. I don't care what mold he comes in. I don't care if he comes in 6'3", 248. 6'5", 260. We need somebody out there. We need another badass out there. Somebody that specializes in getting to the quarterback. A Von Millers. We need somebody. Micah Parsons. We need somebody. We need somebody opposite of that man that can make a difference. Another game record. Because if you only have 1 game record in your front 7, and we don't know what Jack Campbell's ultimately going to become, or what they allow him to become. Now, his linebacker coach is the defensive coordinator now, so maybe he'll give him more and more love and more responsibility or whatever. Maybe they'll use Jack a little differently this season, but you need 2 playmakers in that front 7, 2 difference makers.
Yeah.
And then you need 2 guys in the back end, preferably at least 1 safety and 1 corner.
I mean, I wouldn't be down. I would be down with that for sure. I mean, the way I look at it is like this. Remember a couple years ago? I know you guys remember. Remember the guy who was supposed to be the opposite of Hutch?
Oh,
James Houston. I remember on the page, the Shoreline News podcast, which was Shoreline News then. I remember people were saying, we don't need a defensive end. We got James Houston. I was like, you can never have enough defensive ends, man. If there's one thing that we've learned from the NFL, it's especially from the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles they had guys that came in and they just did a job, and none of them made over $8.5 million.
Fans act like it's basketball or something where they see you draft one position and they say for the next 2 years, we can't draft that position again. We just drafted one 2 years ago. No,
we're good to go.
It's a 53-man roster, you goofball. Yes, you need multiple players. Like when people say, remember for years they didn't want to draft another quarterback behind Stafford.
Yeah.
We don't need to draft the quarterback. We have Matty. Bill Belichick drafted a quarterback every other year
every couple years.
just
Yeah.
because for insurance purposes, and also, hey, if push come to shove, if somebody likes this stiff, I can go ahead and trade them to Houston or somebody. Because how many did they send to Houston? Mallett went over there, and when Mallett went over there, I thought Ryan Mallett was gonna be okay, and Ryan had his issues off the field, but yeah, it's
Garoppolo, Hoyer. I mean, he had a bunch that just went from
he stayed pawning off them guys on people.
Mhm.
This quarterback came from New England. He's going to be our Thomas Brady.
Well,
Yeah.
what you just said flies in the face of what every Lions fan has said for the last couple of years, because we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, remember, when we just signed Dave Montgomery. Imagine if you wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Brad Holmes wouldn't have done that. Now, I want him to do that with defensive end, because if you're able to do that, like let's say you go sign a defensive end, name a defensive end, and then you go draft a defensive end. Okay, I could take that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not willing to give Josh Sweat his money.
Yeah.
That
This is the same fan base that wanted Aaron Curry over Matthew Stafford. This is the same.
Yeah.
This is the same fan base. If the Goff got hurt for 2 games, 4 games, whatever, if Goff got hurt, Hendon plays well, and Hendon wins 3 out of 4 games. Let's just say 3 out of 4. They'll say, "Oh, good, we can trade him for a first-round pick," and they don't even think. You can't listen to them too much because they don't even know what they're saying.
Most fans aren't really digging that deep, man. Like even if you go back to like the Calvin Johnson draft, people were so scorned by Mike Williams and scorned by Charles Rogers. Now at that time, Roy was still good. Roy was still, and after his second season, so Roy was still a pretty decent NFL player at that time before he just started getting lazy and falling off a cliff. But people didn't want Calvin Johnson. And I'm like, listen, I don't care what happened with Charles Rogers. This dude is the LeBron James of football. Of wide receiver. This dude is the Vince Carter of wide receivers. Like, no, we want him. I'm like, you at number 2, you either take him or you take Adrian Peterson. There's no other choice. People wanted Brady Quinn that year.
He's our guy. They don't even know what they're talking about.
No, you either take the mutant wide receiver or the mutant running back. Like, there's
Brady
no
Quinn
other choice. Or Joe Thomas.
Brady Quinn lasts 3 years and they disappear. So Mark T was around for that back then. Y'all got anything to say to Mark T before I say something to him?
Well, he said a couple of things. He got this is his last comment. Brett Holmes drafted Levi, then drafted McNeil. Don't know what you're complaining about. Then he said Lions had James Houston, Von Miller 2.0, just was never allowed to be on the field. Z looked good to me without Hutch, which Z did look pretty good without Hutch, to be honest. I think that's not a bad one. But he said interesting take on Arnold. I like Vildor. I still plan AG's lame inside linebacker blitz scheme. Brad Holmes hit it out of the park year 1 because he was the only GM who drafted out of the Pac-12 during the COVID-shortened year. Half the Lions draft was Pac-12. This is true. Penei, St. Brown, Levi, and Jamar Jefferson. Next year, Lions drafted 3 edge rushers with Hutch, Houston, and Pascal. Last year, Lions drafted corners. Don't tell me they don't draft high position. I'll just start with it, and then I'll go to you, Avery, then I'll go to you, Walt, because I know Avery. I know Avery's steaming. I can see his stuff. I'll say it like this: yeah, they do draft by position. I totally agree with that. But here's the thing about it: they haven't been hitting on those positions, and sometimes you need to supplement your draft with a free agency signing, because that's sometimes how it works. Look. This is the same thing I was talking about in the Red Wings podcast, and it goes sports go into sports. But when you ask a young player to come into the league, if they're not a first round pick or a second round pick, or if they're not a unicorn where they come in the league and they're just dominant, they're gonna have an adjustment period. That's just the reality of the situation. Like, they are gonna have an adjustment period. It took Byron Young a couple games for the LA Rams. It took Jared Verse a couple games. He started to learn off his mistakes. It takes them a couple games. That's just the way it is. And I look at it like this. You drafted Josh Pascal. He hasn't stayed healthy. Levi Onwuzurike hasn't stayed healthy. McNeil's been a great pick. Obviously, that's been a great pick. Houston, I don't care what anybody says. People say he's Von Miller 2.0. No.
He's off the team.
He's off the team. And if he was Von Miller 2.0, don't you think there'd be another team that would be like, let me go sign him? You know what I'm saying?
He got traded to the Cleveland Browns. He can't
The Browns
play.
took him, and he didn't see the field for them either. So look, I love James Houston. I think he was a good player, but he's a gadget player. That's just the reality of the situation. Like, that is what it is. Von Miller is Von Miller for a reason. Like, anybody who watched Texas A&M and they watched Von Miller, they saw Von Miller. When you watched Jackson State, you were like, oh, who's that small guy? James Houston.
Oh, he on Cincy now? That's crazy. He on Cincy now. But he was in Cleveland. He got signed. Go ahead.
Just look how many players that you drafted that you didn't supplement with a free agency signing. It doesn't have to be a big free agency signing. It could be a small one. I think Zadarius Smith is fine, but I think you got to add some players into it. So that's what I think.
No, you're amazing, Joe. You're great. I'm very, very candid, very honest. You don't have to question how I feel about the fan base, because I'm gonna tell you. I feel like this fan base is a little confused, and I see their emotions think for them. One, the fan base, after losing a game to the Bills, jumps off the whole bandwagon. Two, the year before last, when we would lose a game to, I don't know, Dallas or whoever, y'all had these like heart attack, panic attacks, even despite the fact we was a good team. You wasn't looking at the whole board. Everybody just wanted to get off a panic attack, just like flip out. And then last year we're 15-2. We lose 2 games. Even when we're winning games, y'all are saying stuff. We're the kings of the North, kings of the North, kings of the North. Caleb Williams is 1 first down away from beating us in a whole game, 1 timeout away from beating us in a game. We suck, guys. Y'all don't know what to think sometimes. And I'm not about to think for you. I'm about to keep doing the research that keeps me employed. I'm about to keep doing the research that keeps bank accounts coming to me. I'm about to keep doing the research that benefits me, because when I have the research, I don't need emotions. This fan base is way too emotional. They get emotional about everything. Ben Johnson said something about Jared Goff today. Why do you care? Why do you care what Ben Johnson thinks of mobile quarterbacks? How does that affect you? You've won the North 2 years back to back, but you're scared of Ben Johnson. At the end of the day, y'all talking about James Houston is Von Miller 2.0. I don't know. The league never heard of James Houston. I don't know. If he was Von Miller 2.0, he should be in free agency making $20-40 million a year. That's what Von Miller about to make. He's not making that. He won't touch that. He's a gadget guy at best. He was one of my picks from the HBCU when I was scouting HBCU talent, when I was here on my channel scouting HBCU talent. And guess what? Everybody was like, well, the Lions don't need to go to HBCU. They were the only team not in attendance at a HBCU combine. And then they drafted him in the 5th round. And they told you what they thought of him because they didn't play him for 2 years. And when they played him out of injury. They played him out of this, that, and the third. Then he did well, and then they didn't care about him the next year. So don't tell me what I feel about the fan base, because y'all get around, y'all wrap your hand around somebody, and y'all hold them and hold them and hold them and love them and love them and love them. And guess what? You hate them the next day. I seen that with Matthew Stafford. Y'all would have gave y'all left arm for Matthew Stafford. Then y'all say, he's madder. Matty who? And then you boo him at the damn game. And y'all don't know what to think. Y'all don't know what to do. Y'all don't know what to know. So how am I supposed to take y'all serious, bro? We lose a game to the Bills. We're not champions, guys. What? And then you go against those Commander fans. Don't think I forgot. Talking to them Commander fans crazy. And then guess what? They came in our house and beat us. Yep. Y'all was talking real crazy with Neil Rule and Woodward Sports. And guess what? Neil Rule hit his face. He hit his face. You didn't see that fool for 2 weeks. And they talked about the Detroit Pistons because the Pistons was winning. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me what I feel about this fan. Hey, look, Look, I can start Spirit of Seattle. I know so
Man.
much about the league. I can start Spirit of Cleveland. Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
think you
this,
want to do
man.
that.
I think I just think that he has addressed all the positions for the most part. He just hasn't hit as much as he hit on other positions, mainly offense. You know, if you look at it, Aiden Hutchinson was the no-brainer.
Mhm.
Aiden was the no-brainer at number 2. If Jacksonville would have taken Aiden number 1, I don't know where they would have went. Maybe they would have still taken Trayvon Walker. I was heard they were still pretty high on Walker overall. But you know, I just let me get heard of him because of AG, but first they slow fast. AG.
He's got that right.
Yeah. So I would say Levi was a guy that had some back issues at Washington. He was actually my number 1 overall defensive tackle coming out that year.
Mhm.
I thought he fit best with a 4-3 front. He went to a 3-4 defense, and they played him completely out of position starting out. Not to mention, he was also hurt a lot. That back injury reflamed up with him with the Detroit Lions, and his career has kind of turned out what it's turned out to be. Now, Lehman Neal was a guy who was sort of a butterball at NC State. They wanted him to be a nose tackle. They wanted him to be that size. You drafted him in the 3rd round, 1 round right after Levi. Bring him in, develop him, shed a lot of that baby fat off of him. When Aleem plays, Aleem is a hell of a defensive tackle, but we need to keep Aleem on the field.
Mhm.
It took Jack Campbell a little while to really get his wheels turning. You hit on 2 safeties. Now Broderick Martin and Manu and Sourcedall. Now those situations, I don't really count guys like Chase Lucas, like those 7th round picks. Now, when you bring in a guy like a Sourcedall, you're bringing him in for a specific purpose.
Mhm.
And he hasn't proven to be, to me, a capable starting every Sunday NFL offensive lineman. I don't care if you're talking about right tackle, left tackle, either guard position, center. He's a rotational, play him in a pinch type of guy.
Yeah.
So I think overall, if you look at his draft class of the first 4 years, he's batting pretty good the first 3. Now he gets a pretty large incomplete for last year because outside of Mekhi Wingo, who else really contributed? And Mekhi was put in a position where he shouldn't have been put in. Like he was playing on the interior way too much for
Yeah.
6'2", 280. And he was
We
putting up a fight.
We talked about that when he got drafted. We was saying he's
Yeah.
more of an edge rusher, and I thought they should have played him more edge rusher, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I like him better than Pascal, and we being honest about it.
yep.
I like his physicality a lot more. I think he gets home a lot more. At least he did at LSU for that matter. And I like Pascal, but Pascal's another guy that he's not a needle mover. Like we
No.
don't have a lot of needle movers on defense.
No.
Outside, like I said, the 2 safeties and that big time edge rusher. And as much as I like Aleem, if Aleem can give you 16, 17 games, Aleem is an 11 sack defensive tackle probably.
Yeah.
But we may never know because it seems like every time he starts to hit his groove, hit his stride, 2 straight games, a really great play, 3 straight, 3rd quarter of the 3rd straight game, holding his arm, leaving, holding his knee, leaving. It's always something going on with him. But we've had bad luck with some defensive tackles over the past who had a lot of big time talent, didn't completely pan out. We were talking about Nick Fairley on our last show. Nick Fairley was tremendously talented. He was better than Sue. He was overall better than Sue, but the diet, then he had the heart condition. Same thing with Sean Rogers. Tremendous player when he was on the field. Health issues. So
I didn't know you ranked him first, bro. That was crazy, bro.
No, I mean I wasn't the only one. I don't know if you watched the film or not, but I wasn't the only one.
What was wrong with his back? Because I just knew he had a back injury, and I know people don't recover.
I don't know if it was pre-existing from high school or if it was something that developed at Washington.
He did it at Washington. He hurt his back. He hurt his back against, I think, USC or something, and he was never really the same. He got like a couple, like he had like a infusion or whatever, and he was gonna be. He still played, but he had back issues going back to like even high school too. Like but the major back issue happened at Washington. Like I think it's freshman year or something like that. So, but you talk about Aleem McNeil. You talk about him being, sometimes getting nicked up and everything. I mean, I just look at what the Eagles did this year, right? Like everyone goes, how do we become the Eagles? You know how people were saying, how do we become the Eagles? It became the kind of shtick of Detroit content creators and all that. And
Trade for everybody.
yeah, they were like, we need a Jalen Carter. Well, we do kind of got a Jalen.
Why didn't we draft him? What?
Right.
Y'all got amnesia like that? It was just 2 years ago. Why
But-
didn't we draft Jalen Carter?
But I go back to what I was just throwing is like look at these guys they have Milton Williams, he's a second ranked defensive. He's like the third player in free agency right now. So he's gonna come at a high price. But they got all these guys cheap: Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Thomas Booker, Byron Young, Moro Ojamo, who played pretty good, Gabe Hall, Hunt, and Henry. All these guys, they were in the
Wasn't
rotation.
Gabe Hall in camp with us
I don't think so.
last year?
He might have been. No, I don't think he was, because he was I don't know. He's a rookie, so he was drafted by them. So
Was it Connor McGowan? It was one of those green and gold players with their teams. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Can we comment on the Jared Goff, the Ben Johnson comments?
Yeah, we comment on that.
I would love to comment on Ben Johnson's comments about mobile quarterbacks and being able to do something. Wait. Did y'all have any things about the depth and the GM? Like, I didn't have no questions. I didn't get no questions. So
no, I just was saying, like, the depth is more important in my opinion. To be honest, like, we got to get depth in here. To be honest, so that's the major.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at if you look at the teams that win for 9, 10, 11, even if they don't win a bunch of Super Bowls, the teams that are consistently in contention, they have good rosters.
I was
snapping Ravens on consistently guy. Have really good rosters. The Steelers have really good rosters typically. Green Bay typically has a really good overall roster. 49ers, they may not have great quarterbacks, but the way you want to actually build, a lot of success long term is the common sense wise have a full roster and not be the Cincinnati Bengals looking like what you're gonna tie up $100 million in 2 players a year.
What I was trying to say, like, this is what I was trying to hammer home, but like you mentioned Lee McNeil getting hurt and all that jazz. If they just kind of have the guys who could step in and we can manage his snap count, maybe he doesn't get nicked up as much. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what the Eagles do with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. They kind of have him on a snap count. Like, I think Jalen Carter, his most snaps he played this season, he played like 21 against San Francisco. That was the highest that he had up until the Super Bowl. So they kind of had him on a rotation. They had him on a rotation with Milton Williams and Byron Young and Gabe Hall and Thomas Booker, and they kind of rotated them all kind of just to get them out there. And that's kind of what the Eagles did. That's why the Eagles were so successful. But you wanted to talk about the quarterback? Yeah.
Did you
Jared Goff?
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like it?
What do you mean?
How did you feel about it?
About the Penei Sewell could throw better than Jared Goff?
Oh no, that comment was crazy. That comment was a joke. I think that was I thought that was facetious. I was talking about the mobile quarterback one. But wait, you thought he meant wait, you thought it was real?
No, I didn't think it was real. I just thought it was funny. Like, I was like, that's stupid to say, because yesterday he said something about a mobile quarterback, and I'm guaranteeing you he was part of the reason we drafted Hendon Hooker, which was stupid. One of the dumbest things we ever did.
You think drafting Hendon Hooker was stupid?
It was the dumbest. I stand by it. Like, it was the dumbest pick we've ever made.
Who did you want to draft?
Wait a minute. I would say Manu. I would say Manu or maybe Broderick.
I think Manu would gel into a pretty good player in a couple of years. I think he's going to need a couple of years. He's going to be like the Jordan Bellata, your tackle group. But here's why I don't like Hendon Hooker. I watched him at Tennessee. I knew enough about him to say I didn't really like the guy. I thought he was a good college quarterback. He was fine as a college quarterback, but as a quarterback in the NFL, Absolutely not. And I wanted
Oh.
Byron Young. I was dead set on that when it happened. I didn't want Hendon Hooker, and I didn't want Broderick Martin either. I thought that was a reach too.
You thought Hendon Hooker was a reach.
I didn't
So
want
if he
Hendon Hooker
doesn't
at
tear
all.
his ACL, he go. Yeah, if he doesn't tear his ACL, he plays for Indianapolis Colts with the first pick in the draft.
Sweet. Then he can go to Indianapolis. He could check out too.
Y'all
I didn't
are
think.
wild.
I didn't think.
Y'all are wild.
No. I didn't think Hendon Hooker was that good. That good.
Wait. 6,000 passing yards in 2 years. It's not that good.
You recognize the offense he came from, right?
I recognize everything's a gimmick offense. Our offense is a gimmick offense. It's based off
it's
play
not,
action, 90% play action.
No, it's not the same. He's in a one-read offense where you literally are thrown to the first read. That's why he was. First of all, his receivers that he had that year, Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman, were phenomenal. Second of all, if you watched him, he was Apple Goff. He would throw a deep ball down as a fly route, and then when you wanted a short pass in between the sticks, he couldn't do it. He had trouble with that. That was one of the problems that he had at Tennessee. That's why they kind of faltered against some of the better teams like Georgia and everything. They couldn't make those inside passes. That's why they did that. I like Hendon Hooker as a quarterback at Tennessee. I don't like him as a quarterback in the NFL. So if Indianapolis
I will say
wanted
he had issues with short passes, but not to the exaggeration of that. But it's okay. It's all right. You cannot like Hendon Hooker all you want. It's okay. I'm not calling you no names. It's just I'm just curious why when Goff has 2 years left on his contract and we go in that draft and Goff has been shaky at best and been weird where he's had a game where he couldn't literally complete a pass, and then he had a game where he was fumbling and getting ripped apart, just like the playoff game. And then he's throwing interceptions left and right, which he does. In year 3, you're going to draft a quarterback. We could have took Hendon Hooker in the second round. We had an extra second round pick, but we traded back 4 times or 2 times, 4 places back up into the third round. And we took a third round quarterback who made reads, calls, checks at the line. I don't think his offensive coordinator's lying about that. I don't think he's lying about that. And I don't think that, we shifted protections and we're talking about all these things, these cerebral things. I don't think that was like null and void. He made protections at the line. He did checks.
How much Tennessee football have you watched?
How much Tennessee football since
how much Tennessee football have you watched?
Not none lately. Not since Hendon.
Okay, exactly. Because if you
have a gimmick offense,
if you watch Joe Milton was a disaster at Michigan. He looked kind of decent at Tennessee. He looked kind of decent, and he looked decent at New England. If you hear what the people are saying,
okay.
Joe Milton looked pretty good. Nico, the new quarterback, he looks freaking pretty good. That offense
he's talented as hell, though.
Well, Nico is talented as hell.
Yeah, so he's going to be part of one of those quote unquote historical classes probably in the next couple of years.
Well, isn't he projected to come out with Arch? I think that's when he's going to come out. Him and
so you would rather pay
Raiola too, right?
Quarterback $10 million a year.
What do you mean?
Oh, you said Raiola? Raiola is
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah. I don't think next year, but maybe next year.
It was
they're all Arch, Nico, and Raiola are going to come out the same year, which is crazy.
What are the odds the Lions end up with one of those top 3 picks?
Jeez, oh man.
I'm just I'm sorry.
Dominic Raiola's son comes home to play.
Man, I watched Hendon Hooker at Tennessee. I like Hendon Hooker. He was a good college quarterback.
Okay.
I just didn't think he was like someone we should have spent a pick on, to be honest.
60 touchdowns, less than 7 interceptions in his college career, which is less than Goff. But yeah, Goff was in a pro style offense, right? No, he wasn't. Oh wait, he wasn't. He was in a shotgun offense,
air raid,
running shotgun all the time, which was a gimmick in his era. But we did well with him, right?
Okay, I'm not getting this jerk. I never would. I just think that Hendon Hooker. Okay, look, answer me now. Do you think Hendon Hooker is a good pick?
Yeah.
No.
I think we get an incomplete on it because we really don't know what's going to happen. Right. In the NFL on a year-to-year basis. Even though, Goff has been pretty durable. Not saying he would get hurt or whatever, but I think it's
Get a
a
top 5
possibility. At
quarterback
the
in
end of
the
the day, you
third
need a
round.
backup quarterback. This
Okay,
team didn't have one. You talking about Tim Boyle, you talking about David Blau, you talking about a whole lot of other people. If nothing less, you have at least a backup quarterback
yeah,
for
well,
a
that's
team that didn't have one. And if in the tight squeeze, if Goff doesn't work out or Goff goes down, you would hope that in year 3, Hendon Hooker can step in and play. I don't think it's a wasted pick because it's still the backup quarterback position is still a very valuable position in the league. Now, like I said, Broderick and Manu and you know some of those picks, no.
That's a weirdo pick.
Manu,
Broderick and Manu is weird. Like you needed a backup quarterback.
and you traded up for
y'all was
2 guys that were pretty much unknowns. Even though I knew who Broderick was.
Yeah, y'all was trading. Y'all was complaining about Tim Boyle and what's his name for 2 years, and then you draft a backup. I think y'all wanted Jack Hayner, but Jack Hayner's got blood clots, so I don't know if he'll see the field again. Like, well, like it's weird to me what we talk about. Like it's cool, but I'm like, why does everybody hate this dude? Confused.
In my opinion, Brad Holmes told you what he thinks of Hendon Hooker so far.
Oh, with the playoff game?
Yeah, who'd he dress? He did Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater won 2 playoff games in his career.
Right. He was dressed.
Honestly, I don't know why they did that though, because Teddy didn't even throw the damn ball. He just handed the ball over. He had the big play to J-Mo. Yeah, but he didn't even do nothing. Like you could have had Hendon come in to do that if that's the case.
I think people.
What was the deal with that? I don't understand.
Oh yeah. Let's take a look at Hendon Hooker. So y'all evaluate Hendon Hooker in a negative light because he didn't play his first game. That was a playoff game. He should have played a first playoff game down 13 to the Washington Commanders.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what
I'm just saying. No. Like when Goff got hurt, y'all wanted Hendon Hooker to trot out there to do what?
Well, I mean, you'd think that a guy that's what is he? He was in his second year. You think
he's in a rookie year?
Well, it was his de facto rookie year. His rookie year was the year before.
I'll take that.
But the reality of the situation, you think that he would be dressed for that? To be honest, he wasn't. He wasn't the backup quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater came from coaching a state championship to being the backup quarterback of a playoff team. I didn't understand that at all. But Brett, it is what it is. I just don't know. Like, what do the Lions see that we don't see? That's the question I have. Because
I don't know, because there's plenty of articles out there about Ben Johnson trying to get Hendon Hooker, off kilter and ask him questions about the offense, and he couldn't do it. But then again, y'all did want Hendon Hooker traded to the Las Vegas Raiders for no reason, and the Cleveland Browns for no reason. So you could draft a quarterback, Daxter Dart, which is crazy, because he'll throw a game away. But I don't know why the hate is there. I'm not accusing you of the hate. I'm just saying, like, I think the fan base, like, they just have they feel like Hendon Hooker's going to take Jared Goff's job, and they feel like they don't want to root for Hendon because they don't know what he is, because he came from this offense that literally is destroying the Lions every day. Like, the Lions can't stop mobile quarterbacks. That's what the freaking Ben Johnson said. Like, they can't stop guys with ability to create, and they can't stop with wide receivers with the ability to improvise. Matter of fact, the whole creation factor in football has changed. It's not just run around, guys. Guys actually have route concepts when the play breaks down. So, like, for instance, the Texans, they go inside. They tend to go inside when plays break down for Stroud. With what's his name? Jesus Christ, the boy in Buffalo. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know, there's a Buffalo quarterback. He's like the best mobile quarterback, in my opinion, because he gonna truck you. Okay, this dude, he's not just gonna truck you, but his receivers are trained to go vertical because he's gonna throw that boy, and then that shifts the defense up. That has the corners play more up the field. And then there's this guy named Lamar. All these people y'all had issues with. Dang. Oh, yeah, Brock Purdy, you had issues with him, 38 yards to him. Oh, yeah, Mason Rudolph, we had issues with him. Like, this is inevitable.
we need to fix this mobile quarterback thing, because even Ben Johnson seen it. Like, it's kind of demoralizing when, our defense is just getting destroyed by mobile quarterbacks. Because I seen Mason Rudolph juke a linebacker. I seen, Caleb Williams. I seen all these guys. Watch the film. I don't know, like. And then you have Goff. Goff is, the last of 4 quarterbacks. There's 19 mobile quarterbacks in the NFL as of last year. And now we can say maybe 21, because you see more guys work on mobility. Like even Jared Goff is worked on mobility. So I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I will say this about the whole mobile quarterback thing. As fans, we tend to think that everything is kind of compartmentalized, and we're the only team having an issue with something. We ain't the only team in the league Josh Allen do that to. We ain't the only team in the league Lamar get busy on. We ain't the only team. So it's like, as fans, we got to understand it ain't just us. But when we see it happen to us, we think it's just us. It ain't just us. Like, everybody has an issue with these same mobile quarterbacks. Everybody does. Even if you look at I forgot exactly what Lamar's stats was against Philadelphia this season, but I know they held Baltimore under 20, if I'm not mistaken. But he even still had some runs against them. It happened. Like, some of these guys, there's no such thing as shutting down the mobile quarterback. Now, unless it's a mobile quarterback that can't throw worth a damn.
Yeah.
Now, you can defend that because he's no threat to test you vertically. You're not worried about him layering the football over anybody, especially if he has no accuracy. You're not worried about being stretched horizontally, having to like, none of that matters with a quarterback that can't run. I mean, that can't throw. Yeah, but if he can just run, you can just defend that. But no, man, it's like, this is my thing when Lions fans always talk about the mobile quarterback, and when they see any quarterback break off a run. Even Mason Rudolph is a guy that can move. All these guys can move. But at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, perennial MVP candidates. They don't get all those MVP stats against playing just the Lions. Like, they get them against other teams. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, we play Buffalo once every 8 years, and Lions fans saw Josh Allen get busy, and it became a big issue. Well, Lamar Jackson lost 3 games in his entire career to NFC teams, and he gets busy on all of them. So I think the whole we can't defend mobile quarterbacks thing is like, that's been something that's been just regurgitated for so long, and like, that's like with past regimes, and it, like, if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's not just us, it's everybody.
I just feel like Lions fans they don't even know. They want Hendon Hooker, a quasi rookie, a fictional rookie. We'll just call it a fictional rookie. They want his first game. They want his first game to be in a playoff game that they're losing, and they're losing in a playoff game that they thought they would dog walk the Commanders, and they're losing to a rookie quarterback, and all he has to do is hand the ball off. Just hand the ball off. We'll be good. Like the team is not going to like blitz the hell out of him or whatever. Like I don't think, like, it told me a lot because Ben Johnson didn't put him in the game. Like, why don't y'all ask Campbell? Why didn't that happen? Why is that always Ben Johnson got this ultimate control? Like, it's almost like, why does no one ask Campbell these questions? Because he's the architect, really, of this offense. I feel like Ben Johnson is a play caller. He's a great play caller. But the dude who sat there with them guys, Jim Morton and Ben Johnson and Antoine Randall, who doesn't get credit for building the offense at all. But it's okay. I know why. But I understand, like, the mentality there. I understand, like, well, he didn't get that, so he doesn't believe in him. You're losing the freaking game to a rookie quarterback. Your wide receiver is throwing interceptions. Everything that's going wrong is going wrong. Every possible, plausible thing. Your defense can't play defense. Your best defender, up to date, broke his arm on his first play. Your best cornerback is pathetic. And we're going to put our fictional rookie, in the game. Well, it taught me a lot because, yeah, Lions fans act like they won something. You haven't won anything. We haven't won anything. You don't have the luxury to have this archaic opinion about anything because we haven't won. We lost to a rookie quarterback. That is unexcusable. And we're talking and debating about Hendon Hooker, and we're literally 4 interceptions away from the NFC Championship game. 4 interceptions. And I haven't heard nothing about this clown. I haven't heard nothing. And we paid him $200 million. I've heard nothing. We paid this clown $200 million, and he hasn't shown up in a damn important game. He could go 18-18 to the Seahawks, and they go 9-8, and they don't make the playoffs. They nobodies. No one holds this dude to task. No one holds this dude capable, man. I'm really tired of this Jared Goff. Hold this dude accountable, man. We keep playing with this dude, dog. We keep letting him get off scot-free. I'm really tired of a dude making $50 million and ain't winning no games. That matters.
He don't have a choice this season.
Man.
At the end of the day, man, listen, we've seen better quarterbacks than Jared Goff lose jobs. And I talked to Ashanti about this numerous times on our show. If you look at the situation there, all the moves Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes make is to make sure we're still employed post Jared Goff. They plan on still being there post him. And that's the key thing, man. You can't be in these situations where you go back to the Myles Garrett situation. You don't want to be in a situation where you have a quarterback that you know good and damn well needs to be insulated. He needs talent around him. He needs a damn good offensive line. He needs weapons. He needs timing. He's not a guy he's not a 7-step drop, survey the field, push the ball down the field, gunsling you back into a game type of guy. That's not him. That's not his skill set. Fine. I get it. But if you're going to play with that type of quarterback and you're going to go to the casino with that type of quarterback to gamble with, you need to know that you need to keep everything right around him. And you can't do that by bringing in a Myles Garrett. You can't do that by bringing in somebody has a contract that ultimately is going to upset the apple cart. Because if you look at Garrett's 31, but 30, he doesn't strike me as a guy like a Khalil Mack that's cool with just being a hired gun, making 14, 15 mil a year, play somewhere for a year, 2 years, do that. He's probably going to want a long-term contract. Like there's a lot of things in this situation I think that people really aren't, really taking into account. But for him, if this team has another bad exit and he's the reason, or he's like largely to blame, fan bases have turned on better quarterbacks than him. Because you only get so long to lose. Like the last 2 playoff games, and I'm gonna get like him in a second. But the last 2 playoff games have left really bad taste in people's mouths around here. And if you look at Goff, aside from the first half against San Francisco in the NFC Championship last year, his last 6 quarters of football, his last 6 quarters of playoff football haven't been good at all. And I think, if you're just looking at it for what it is, you can't have another exit like that. You can't.
I'm looking at this dude. I'm sorry to get heated. What? Your mic muted. I can't hear you.
It is muted. Damn it. What the hell? It's that stupid touch thing. But I look at the fourth quarter. I mean, the last 2, the second half of the 49er game, I look at it like this. That was a complete team failure, and they just failed at every part. Like Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled. Josh Reynolds had a pass that he should have caught. Like that's the reality of the situation.
The last 6 quarters, the team been kind of ass.
Well, and then I look at last year, and I go, we went in after the Buffalo game. There was an expectation to win the game. You had to go perfect on offense because your team was not stopping a goddamn thing. The game against Minnesota was a total fallacy. It was a total fallacy. Sam Darnold came here and he choked. That's just the reality. He came here and he choked. But that's not happening with any other quarterback, especially Jaden Daniels. He's not going to sit here and just get
No, not with somebody good.
Yeah, but I said from the Buffalo game on, I said they got to play perfect football and offense to win, and they played pretty good up until that Washington game. That's when they fell apart. What this Lions team needs is they need to get their defense in order. That's the main thing, because the way that they were playing last year, they were really edging disaster in multiple games. Man, they were really edging disaster.
Look, I feel you. You're right. You're absolutely right. I can accept the whole team thing, but if I'm trotting out, look at the top paid quarterbacks. Look at them.
Look at Josh Allen. Is it Josh Allen's fault?
Look at the top paid guys. He's in that
Josh
group.
Allen.
He's in that group.
Yeah,
he's in that group. He's throwing. I'm gonna say this. Our window depends on this guy. I'm dependent on a Super Bowl before I die for this guy. Okay? I couldn't get it with a talent like Matthew Stafford and Megatron. For most of you, you couldn't get it with Barry Sanders and Herman Moore and guys who we look up to as legends. We couldn't get it with Ndamukong Suh. So all I got left is this dude named 16. All I got left is this dude. So I need this dude who's been to a Super Bowl, who shit the bed in the Super Bowl. I need him to show up in important games. I don't need him to be perfect. I don't need him to be perfect.
You repeated the same stuff that people always point at. They point at the Super Bowl and they say they shit hit the bed. Last time I checked, that was the only Super Bowl in NFL history where each quarterback didn't have a touchdown or intercept. They both had an interception, and the winning score was an effing run. So there you go. That game was a total defensive game. It was Wade Phillips versus Bill Belichick. That's exactly what it was. So
okay.
Hey man.
Your point to the Super Bowl. Okay, the point is he needs to win. He doesn't need to be perfect at the Pro Bowl. I'm not looking for him to be perfect against the Seattle Seahawks, who are nothing. I'm looking for him to be perfect against the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champs. I'm looking for him to be perfect against Mahomes. I'm looking for him to be matter. Let the games that matter. I'm tired of him mattering when it don't matter. When the Tennessee Titans don't matter. The freaking the Baltimore Ravens, unless it's the Super Bowl, don't matter. You keep mattering when it's not important. When we have a game, our second primetime game, and we throwing 4 interceptions and we're down 20-3. What the hell are we doing? We're looking like I need you to show that. Jared Goff. I need you to show that comeback effort. I need you to show that. I need you to be that 150, 200 million, $212 million man that we paying you to be. And I'm saying this about every player on the team. I'm not just saying this about him. I'm saying this about Amon-Ra, Mr. 30 million a year. Don't know how, but he's got 30 million a year paid more than CD Lamb and all this other stuff.
How do you not know how that's how do you not know how Amon-Ra got $30 million? How? You just not gonna talk?
I'm just saying he's supposed to be paid higher than CD Lamb.
Yeah, when your contract is up and you get paid, CD Lamb pays. It's getting paid more now, but
thank God, the order is restored. That's all I gotta say. Like, I need my best paid people to actually show up in a playoff game.
I mean, I think they scored 31 points and they still lost. I mean, that's just the reality, because they lost because Jared Goff didn't threw the interceptions.
I remember the running backs scored,
but it didn't effing matter because their defense gave up 48, so it really didn't matter. That's a problem. See, everyone, you just fell into the same trap that all Lions fans have fallen into. You fall into the same trap.
What's the trap?
Yeah, you fell in the trap. You fell in the trap. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You sitting here blaming 2 people. You said, "Oh, I want my best players to be my best players." That's what you just said. You just said it. That's what you just said. Hold up. Now you want the best players to be the best players, but the reason the Lions have never effing won in their entire existence is because of one thing, and one thing only. You need a team to win. It didn't matter about Kelvin Johnson. It didn't matter about Matthew Stafford. It didn't matter about
15 games. They won 15 games.
You won 15 games, but I told you guys on the Commanders podcast, I told you if they come out and they don't play perfect, they're going to lose. That's what I said. They had to play perfect. Their defense. Do you think that defense was stopping Jane Daniels? Absolutely effing not. And I know Mark in the comments is trashing AG, but AG was a big
think
reason
it all
why.
goes hand in hand. I think when you go into that game knowing what the situation is defensively, knowing what your roster looks like, knowing what your front seven looks like, outside of Jaden Daniels' rushing attack this season, it wasn't really Brian Robinson, it wasn't Eckler, it was mainly him. And for that defense to consistently, you went to the game already knowing how the issue with the defense. Offensively, you're not doing your defense any favors turning the damn ball over 4 times, neither. Putting them constantly in short fields. That first turnover, that first one, when they went with the empty backfield on the 4th and 1, or was it 4th and 1 or 3rd and whatever the hell it was.
3rd and 1.
It was. We get the issues the defense was having, even though the defense had just pitched a hell of a game 2 weeks prior to that against Minnesota in week 18. I don't think anybody had an idea that the defense was going to turn in that type of performance. Now, people have been predicting something like that the past few weeks leading up to the end of the season, but it happened, and I mean, it's not much you can do about it. Like I said, the defense, it had its issues. The offense didn't do the defense any favors by turning the ball over 4 times and consistently putting them behind the 8 ball as well. So as much as we blame the defense, the offense still turned the ball over 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it all goes hand in hand. And the play calling was terrible.
Okay.
So to Joe's point, the whole team looks silly.
The whole team looks silly. I got it. So we're more mad. We're more upset. We're more upset that Hendon Hooker rides the bench for 2 plays that don't matter in a game where the quarterback throws 4 interceptions.
Stop.
It's ridiculous.
I never brought that up.
You said he was a waste of a pick. Manu was a waste of a pick. Terrion is a waste of a pick.
You keep bringing up Hendon Hooker like I say it had a direct reflect to the game against the Commanders. It didn't. I think Hooker was a waste of a pick. Yes, I do. Absolutely.
We did move off Hooker to the game, though.
I mean,
it was a terrible segue. He didn't play in the game that we're talking about. And our starting quarterback, who makes $53 million a year, he played.
Well, you're the one that brought up Hooker, and you said
I'm just saying, look, man. I'm just saying the hate for Hooker is crazy, but there's no hate for Jared Goff. I've seen this guy play us out of games, and it's okay because it's the defense's fault. Literally, I want to see a defense be so dominant that if he doesn't score a touchdown, we have problems. I want to see this fan base start to ask questions about this guy, because this guy can just play terrible on 3rd down and get away with it. And I've never seen this before. Peyton Manning was ridiculed for 6 years not winning the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning was a division champion for 8 years and didn't win a Super Bowl. And nobody cared. They cared about asking the right questions. What's wrong with Tony Dungy? What's wrong with Peyton? Why can't Peyton win? What's wrong? What's going on? This fan base, Jared Goff is the best thing they ever seen, so they cherish him. He's their guy, but they keep chanting his name, and I keep hearing nothing from him. I keep hearing nothing. So I need to see proof that you're worth $53 million a year, bro. And I would say the same thing if I was Andy Dalton. I would say the same thing if
going back to the money. The money is not the issue. That money
got outplayed by a rookie quarterback. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he got outplayed by a rookie quarterback. He had his worst game, and that's the way it is. That's how it goes. You're not gonna say, oh, you're not gonna make excuses for that. No one's gonna make excuses for that. He had a horrible game, terrible game. But to blame it all on him for the
I didn't blame it all on him.
And you brought up, I don't know why you keep bringing Hendon Hooker up in this situation. Hendon Hooker has nothing to do with
y'all hate the pick because he didn't play in the game.
No, I know. I don't like the pick because I think he could have been better used in a different situation. You just said before the podcast, you literally just said, we need 2.5 defensive linemen. That's what you said. If I would have took that Hendon Hooker pick and I would have said, F it, and I would have went with Byron Young or Kobe Turner, would that have been better?
Kobe Turner? You would have got Kobe Turner?
Was he before or after?
Kobe I know Turner Byron pick 89.
I know Byron Young was the one but it doesn't matter. Byron Young, that's the one.
We had pick 96, so we could have still traded up to get Kobe Turner.
Kobe Turner was pick 89. We could have traded up. We would traded back 2 times for Hendon Hooker, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's my effing point. We could have had him. We could have had him, but we didn't. So that's the way it goes. I don't like the Hooker pick. I never did. I'm a Tennessee fan. You don't watch Tennessee, so I don't expect you to get this. But he played in a makeshift offense, and that's what it was. I don't like the Hooker pick. I don't have to like the Hooker pick. It's not because he's Hendon Hooker. I just don't like the effing pick. So that's the way it goes down to.
So you're telling me the trade master Brad Holmes couldn't trade up from 96 to 89? He couldn't do that?
He could have.
Another dude y'all worship and ask no questions about until this season?
I mean, I've asked questions multiple times, but I don't know where you're going with that. But
y'all be worshiping these people, bro. Brad Holmes, like the only person that I don't really hold accountable is the damn field hands, okay? The people that paint the damn sign, okay? I'm asking everybody questions. I'm asking Dan Campbell questions. I'm asking Jared Goff questions. I'm asking Brad Holmes questions. And this fan base didn't ask Brad Holmes no questions before this season, before this offseason. They didn't care what. In Brad, we trust. And they was Barbies the whole time. And everybody trusted Brad Holmes. Just trust Brad Holmes. Just trust him.
You keep speaking in absolutes.
I'm just saying. That's what they did. That's what they did. You see the post?
I don't care what they did. I don't care what they did.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them.
I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't care who they are.
The whole fan base, bro.
I don't care. I'm talking. I don't care what they say.
I care. I care.
Well,
now they asking questions.
We are hour and 33 minutes into
now they asking questions.
And we ain't saying
and pretty soon they're gonna be asking questions about golf. They're gonna be asking questions about golf next season. Get ready. Win the Super Bowl and shut the fuck up. Win the Super Bowl. That's what you got to do. Beat the Eagles. Don't have your damn wide receiver talking about what if we could have played the Eagles, acting like a little girl.
See, I don't get lost in semantics like you're getting lost in semantics. I'm just sticking with the brass tacks. That's what I'm sticking with.
Oh yeah.
So I do know the combine tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's a good combine too.
Caught up in all this really relevant shit right now. Just being honest, man. Like I don't really all this shit just kind of.
That's what I'm saying. It's irrelevant.
We shouldn't even been talking about none of this. People ain't none of it really relevant to. I mean, y'all want to talk about some actual players, something that's relevant to the team getting better right now, or we
I don't know.
We arguing about people's opinions who ain't here.
It started with
honestly, man. Like I'm so like people who got an issue with Hooker. They, however it is, man. You don't like them. Fuck it. It's your opinion. It ain't my job to change your shit. I'm not gonna get bent all out of shape out of other people's opinions. It is what the hell it is, man. We here to bring people quality football content. I think we've been all off on some arguing, yelling shit right now. That ain't quality content, man.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Just be honest about it, man. It's too much going on right now. Like the last 40 minutes, we done got sidetracked off of like
we
real educational shit to do all this extra shit, man.
Yeah, I don't know why we wasted a bunch of time, but that's besides me. But I should have took control, but whatever. NFL Combines tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. I mean, these are the formal interviews they've had so far. Marshall Edge. You like Mike Green?
Yeah, I like Mike Green. Depending on what kind of system you're gonna play him in. If you got an actual plan for him.
System. It's a system base. It's got to be a plan with him.
Yep. I mean,
all
most
these
of those
players that they brought in. Most of them dudes is good.
Are. Jack Sawyer, more than likely, he's a 4-3 guy. Nick Gordon.
Jack. People saying
I like
Gordon.
Yeah.
I like Gordon too. I like Gordon's size. Gordon's got good size.
I like Colin Oliver, Oklahoma State, though. I do like Colin Oliver, to be honest. So
I never heard of him. That's the
he's
first
pretty
time
good.
I'm hearing of him. Okay.
He's athletic. He's an athletic defensive end type. He's not a bigger type. I don't think he's that big, to be honest. But
is he like that guy from Michigan?
Josiah Stewart?
Yeah, is he like that guy? Like small like that?
Yeah, I don't think he's that small, but Josiah Stewart is someone I'd be interested in, to be honest. But I
think he's a 3-4 guy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play him as a linebacker, to be honest. Colin Oliver is his weight is his height is 6'2", weight's 242. So yeah, he's around Josiah Stewart's Around
Around
his
the same size as my man from Ellis from
I don't
Utah
like these
last year.
small guys. Yeah, Ellis was 6'3".
Yeah, six. I mean,
Yeah. NFL 6'3".
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's in this day and age, man. You need guys that can get after the quarterback, man. That's it. And you know, most teams are trying to, even outside of the 4-2-5, you pretty much get forced into playing a lot of cover 3, a lot of quarters, because teams are coming out with the 3 wides, the 4 wides, they quads, they bunch, they putting tight ends in it. So it's like, you know, you have to have more athletic people out there. That's why I was a big component of Lamar, we talked about this on your show about the 3-4. Whether they decided to ultimately move to a 3-4, I do think out of the 4-2-5, you can get versatile enough components where you can play some 3-4 a little bit more and get more athletic linebackers out there. Like if we're going to know a lot about what they want to do defensively based upon what type of defensive front 7 player they draft this year. Whether it's at 28, whether it's at 60, whether they move up to get somebody. And I think that's a good question right there. And I brought that up to you earlier. You guys think there's anybody in this class as far as the first round that potentially they could be looking at? Because nobody saw the Jameson Williams pick coming. Nobody saw the Jahmyr Gibbs pick coming. You think there's somebody that's probably their guy, and I can see them moving up from 28 to go get?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
I'm interested in them trading up in the top 10, and I want to get Mason Graham if that's the case.
Top 5?
Yeah, I would have to do that because I feel like there's going to be like this hype on quarterbacks and this hype on edge rushers, and if you can get a quality DT like that, and then that'd be great. But I think that he just does everything well. His production is the same as Jalen Carter's over his college career. Obviously, it's going to be the NFL. Things are going to change, but he's so polished when it comes to getting to the quarterback and stopping the run. He's just so balanced as a defensive tackle. There are defensive tackles in this draft that are not as balanced. We see guys like I like Norman Lott a lot. Sometimes he kind of like pursues the quarterback and just blows up the play if it's a run, so he blows up his gap. I don't like that, but I've only seen very limited film on him. So I'm hoping that, the film actually releases completely on him. I like Walter Nolan, but I would love to have the best defensive tackle in the class paired up with Aleem McNeil, who is, to me, an A-class defensive tackle. And then we can get an edge in the second round. I think we can get scored in the second round, but maybe he goes early because once you start trading up for players, like especially defensive ones, all them offensive ones go down. So I'm hoping to get Mason, hopefully.
Well, the player I would trade up for is Michael Williams. He's an edge rusher from Georgia, and I think he could be a really good player because I think, well, two things. I think if there is a run on quarterbacks, which I highly doubt because these quarterbacks suck in this class. I mean, besides Cam Warren and Shedeur Sanders, I mean, do you really want Quinn Ewers being the quarterback of your team? Nope.
I think it's a good backup.
Well, some team is gonna get. Some team in the draft is gonna get. They're gonna try to be like, oh, we think Quinn Ewers is gonna be a good quarterback, and it's gonna be like, nope, he ain't good quarterback. That. I hope there's a run on quarterbacks because there's a lot of good players in this draft. To be honest.
It could be a run. I mean, Jackson Dart is a dude who could move up. And if you look at Dart, former 5-star recruit, you peeped out he left USC as soon as Caleb got there. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Your head coach came here. You came here with your head coach. I get it. The writing's on the wall. Let me get the hell out of town. But he's gotten better every single year at Ole Miss. I will say that he's improved every single year. And if you're talking about like when you go through the film, him and Cam Ward, I think, have the most big-time throws out of any of the quarterbacks in this
Jackson
class.
Dart?
Yeah. Jackson Dart has some monster completions. He's made some monster. Him and Cam Ward. Don't really see a lot of that out of Shedeur. I don't think that's really in Shedeur's skill set, which is kind of to his detriment, I think, with how people view him in comparison to Cam Ward. Kind of shocked. I'm not really shocked he's not going to throw at the combine either, though. It's like, you guys think he's ducking Cam Ward?
Shedeur?
Because Cam don't give a shit. Cam's showing up. He's going to do everything. He's going to throw.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he got the physical talent and the tools too. So it's like, you think he's on some been getting advised by a circle to not show up because they're gonna compare you to him. Like, I hate this type of shit. I really do, because it looks bad in some players' situations. Now I get it. Jayden didn't throw last year. Caleb didn't throw last year, but there was no questions on the physical talent of either one of those quarterbacks.
I mean, if I was Shedeur, I would throw, because I really don't know who you are, to be honest. Like, I know what to expect out of you, you know what I'm saying? In terms of how you are with pressure in your face, but I don't know how you are with like these like precise throws. Like, Cam Ward going out there, that's a big win for me. If I'm a team that needs a quarterback and Cam Ward's going out there, I'm notching him up over Shedeur Sanders, because he's willing to go out there and ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shows me something about your
They want to
competitive side,
see you
yeah.
in uncomfortable situations, not comfortable situations where you control the narrative and you control everything. Like, if you look at the combine and you get into the nuance of it, it's not underwear Olympics. When you look at the quarterback situation, you're throwing to a bunch of guys you've never thrown to before, but you're throwing the same exact quick out to 12 different wide receivers. So on the fly, you need to figure out, okay, the first throw was too wide with him because I didn't have his speed judged correctly. Next time around, bro, I got you. I'm gonna land that boy. Same thing with him. People don't think enough, and that's the problem. They see situations, oh, well, no, he don't have to do this, he don't have to do that, because they don't understand the nuance of this. There are logical reasons why they want to see your ass throw. They want to see you in uncomfortable situations. They don't want to see you with 150 footballs that you already firmly touched and you love them to your liking. And you got all your 5 wide receivers you thrown to for the past 4 years. So you got timing down with each and every one of them. And you're throwing indoors and there's no wind. And there's like, I don't give a damn about that, bro. I understand the combine. And I understand why, from my perspective, he should throw, because I actually understand the combine. At the end of the day, they want to see you in an uncomfortable situation and they want to see you compete. That's really what it is. And I can learn more about you at the combine throwing to people you don't know than I can you at your combine up in Boulder. What am I supposed to learn from you at Boulder?
Nothing.
The problem is the fans. The fans didn't care about the combine. The pundits didn't care about the combine. The pundits acted like, for years, they acted like the combine didn't matter. So this last 2-3 years of guys not working out, like, they acted like this didn't matter for the life of me all the time. Like, I remember the scrutiny that Calvin Johnson faced when he was, oh, you're 235, 245? How did you get there? And it was scrutiny all day. Then he ran at 4.3 and nobody said nothing.
Some of the stuff can be ridiculous. Like when you say like John Ross running that high 40, and then they said, oh, he's a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some stuff that you go, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, people like Shedeur, people like Cam Ward, like, they have an opportunity to show scouts who they are as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a wide receiver, you have a chance to show your agility, you have a chance to show your speed. And like, even just the questions going in the questions, that's the biggest part of the whole combine. And if you go into that meeting with whatever team you're going in the meeting with and you fail, I mean, that's probably going to be your draft stock falling.
Well, they also want to see who's the alpha in the whole room too. Who leads the groups? Who leads the exercise? All that stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. But with Shedeur, my thing is there's a lot of entitlement to it.
Do you agree with me though that, like, not seeing Shedeur play, go to the combine and actually participate in some of the drills, does that make you go, okay, I don't know about this, man?
No, I don't think about that at all, because I see what these people say online countless times. It's the underwear Olympics if you do well. I've seen them criticize Jalen Hurts' throwing motion. I've seen them destroy guys' draft stock like Josh Allen. And why do you do that? Why do you do that? And then they destroy these guys. Then these guys become elite guys and they're kissing their butt 10 years from now and the combine doesn't matter. And they do this weird thing where they upgrade this perennial like 4-3 guy, elevate him all the way to the level of a pick 12, which he doesn't matter in the grand scheme of thing. He can't run routes. He can't separate. He doesn't know what a route tree is. He just ran a 4-3. And then they say, well, he's going to be a great player. I remember watching Okuda. Let's just bring up Okuda scouting combine. The same numbers as Terrion, pretty much. He had a nice bench. He had a 4.59, 4.58, ran that. They kept saying, I don't like that 40 though. But this guy's going to be a perennial all-time guy, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, he's really a game speed guy. They've destroyed their own value of their own product by saying the combine doesn't matter. The Mel Kipers, the this. When they say these things and it rubs off on the fan base, and I've heard nonsense like, oh, the combine just boosts up nonsense guys, and then it destroys this guy, and that's cool. That's what happens. But at the same time, you got film, and film tells the tape, because when a guy goes out there and competes and then you destroy him, like Jalen Hurts, like Josh Allen, when you destroy him and then the guy comes a winner, no one's talking about the combine.
Nobody destroyed Josh. Josh actually boosted his draft stock by throwing the football farther than anybody.
I seen them talk about Josh's arm. I'll just send you the clips of the video, bro.
I didn't like when he was in Buffalo, or
I've seen McShay.
See,
McShay.
He was out of white. I mean, they gonna critique certain things. That's
why I don't listen to those people, because
I
just don't listen to those people, because half of the time, first of all, they're driving a narrative. Second of all,
that's what it is. Yeah.
First of all, the second part about it is, I know for a fact there's an ESPN guy who literally gets intel from teams on who to drag down and who to prop up, because the teams are like, look, we want this guy, but he needs to fall to us. That's exactly what happens at this time of the year. It's, you have people that are like, but what me and Walter are trying to say is like, if Cam Ward going to throw, that's a great sign for me, in my opinion, because he's about to go out there and try to be a dog and try to
a check plus for me.
Show he's good. But it's something tells me, man, when you don't want to go out there and throw, I don't care about the scrutiny, because I don't care about ESPN or NFL Network and what they say or the fans say, to be honest. It's about what these teams say, because what these teams see. And if I was a team right now and I was saying, if I was a Titans right now, right? And I think the Titans need a quarterback. I think we all agree the Titans need a quarterback.
They're going to destroy him.
Well, I think if they get the right guy, they'll be fine. But I mean, I look at, if I'm the Titans, I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to draft as a quarterback. I mean, is it Cam Ward or is it Shedeur Sanders? I mean, right now it's a check for Cam Ward, because he's going to go throw. Competitive spirit. That's good. That's good for me.
Well, I think it's an on the field thing for me. Cam is going back to Cam at Washington State. Cam's always had a big arm. Cam always could move. Cam could always make big plays, really good improviser. But he used to always turn the ball over a decent amount. There was a lot of gunslinger in Cam going back to Washington State. But once he got to Miami, he cleaned up a lot. That's another thing, too. I think we're getting back to quarterbacks being allowed to grow in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
You look at what Jayden Daniels, the lumps he took at Arizona State before going to LSU and then finally flourishing. Bo Nix having an up and down career at Auburn. He transfers to Oregon, has a great last season and last couple seasons there. Michael Penix had a bunch of hard luck health-wise playing for Indiana. Left Indiana, went to Washington, turned everything around. So I think quarterbacks are sticking around a little bit longer. They're getting groomed a little bit better, and they're coming to the league a lot more prepared now.
But you ask Tom Brady, they're not prepared. They're not prepared. And that's the crazy thing. This is if you ask Tom Brady.
He's talking about the young ones. I don't think he's talking about the experienced ones, though. Now, you're talking about the guys who got – yeah, he has to be tough. I mean, if the guy who played 4 or 5 years is obviously prepared. Now, if you're talking about the guy who only had 13 career starts in college, like a Anthony Richardson, there's too many situations where you look at the guy with the physical talent and you say, well, he only played 15 games in college, but that's no issue. It's been an issue historically for most of these quarterbacks who didn't start at least 20 games in college, man. Look at Trey Lance. Like, it's so many of them when you go back and you look at the lack of repetition. If you go from high school to college and you don't play at all, you play behind 2 or 3 other 5-star quarterbacks. By the time it's your time to play. That's why I got a big issue with Tyler Shuck?
Yeah.
Of Texas Tech. You haven't played that much. Like, you went through the health issues and then they just brushing off the health issues like they're not health issues. Like, no, there's still health issues, and he's still an older quarterback. So these things still matter. I don't know. I just think that when it comes to the quarterback position, man.
Yeah. It's not as big as a spectacle right now. It's just
But when there's questions, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. People still people been replaying that Cam Ward Shedeur video. And I've been saying this since last offseason, man.
Okay.
People played that Shedeur Sanders Cam Ward video from last summer with not Cam Ward necessarily punking Shedeur, but talking about Shedeur being late for meetings or whatever. You talking about this or that. It looks bad.
Yeah.
Every time they're around each other, Cam just feels like the alpha. He just always feels like the alpha around them. And when you look at the fact that Cam has the physical tool set, for the physical skill set, obviously, he's got the better NFL body, the better NFL build. And you take into account that there's nothing, and we being honest about it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a realist. I don't latch on to none of this BS. The media latch on. Oh, that's Deion's son, so I got to get on TV and shuck and jive and pull for him. I ain't bought by nobody.
Yeah.
So my feelings, my views are exactly what they are. If his last name was Brown or Smith, this whole number 1 overall pick shit would not be in the mix right now. Because there's nothing you see from that film from Jackson State or Colorado to say, yeah, that's number 1 pick material right there.
Yeah,
Walt bring the heat. I agree with you.
I'm just sick of the bull, man. We go through this every single year with the draft. Every single year we go through this. Everybody got a damn motive. If it ain't white people pushing a player because he's white, you got black people pushing a player just because he's black and don't know nothing about the damn player. Ain't nobody watch no damn film. Everybody on TV just shucking and jiving because I got to defend my guy because he's black, or I got to defend my guy because he's white. And ain't nobody watch no damn film. Don't nobody know a back pedal from a brake pedal. Nobody knows shit. And I'm just, dude, every year with the draft, we go through this. We just regurgitate this same bull every single year.
What about
everybody got a motive?
What about my favorite when they got a black quarterback, they compare him to a black quarterback, and when they got a white running back, they compare him to like
he's Toby Gerhardt.
Like bro, he ain't nothing like him. It was like
every white wide receiver it gets compared to Wes Welker.
Like that's the thing. I never put Shedeur up there like that. I just put him at like you're going to the Giants. You might go to the Jets. That's it. There's no other. There's nothing else there. Like you can't. Like
Dude,
my comp for Shedeur. My comp for Shedeur is Jared Goff. That's literally it. The way he throws the ball, the way he likes to dink and dunk down the field, like the limited throws deep. Like he's all right. He's not like all right. Like to me, it's like, what do you want? You know, like what kind of quarterback do you want? And that's the thing I really want to get at. Is like we could win with a Jared Goff. We can win with a deep arm talent like a Cam Ward. But how do you, as a franchise, believe your quarterback should play? Because in Baltimore, they rock with what they drafted. That's how they wanted to play. They built offenses off of that, and they matured that talent into what it is today. In Buffalo, they drafted a quarterback who represents how they see the quarterback position. A lot of these dudes are scouts or in the media. They're saying, well, what's the prototype? Is it the white guy versus the black guy? Is it the tall guy versus the short guy? What's the prototype? No, you can literally rock with a Baker Mayfield in Tampa.
Exactly.
And you can also rock with a gunslinging dude for the San Diego Chargers. these dudes be over-analyzing the draft, and then when you over-analyze it so much, you be missing key factors. Like, people are talking about these pass rushers, and they're never bringing up win rate. They're never he's a guy, look at his build, and look at this, and look at that. I'm sure that's important, but how often is he winning when he's on the field against SEC competition?
They also
how
look
often
at the
does
stats.
Exactly. What's going on with, if he doesn't have a good game, what's his mentality off the field? What's his mentality? Are you looking at the whole field? Or are you just looking when he plays? Because he can have highlights against Sam Houston and disappear against Alabama. And they keep drafting guys. Remember Leatherwood? I think he was a left tackle.
Alex
Oh,
Leatherwood.
yeah, Alex Leatherwood, yeah.
Well,
that was Gruden.
He was great. He was great. He was so great.
Man.
Bust.
I think Gruden just likes saying people's last names.
Yeah.
He had a weird Nathan
Leatherwood.
Peterman.
Yeah.
Leatherwood. I'm gonna draft him just so I can yell his name in practice all summer.
Well, I also think what people do, what I think that happens in this time of the year happens is they gravitate towards the traditional school. So like a Michigan, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna go to him. Penn State, they're gonna go, especially if it's a linebacker or something. You got Tennessee, who is up there. They're like, I think James Pierce is gonna be good. I think he could be a good edge rusher. Depends on the team he goes to because he's a little bit of a tweener. But I'm looking at this right now. It's NFL Draft Buzz. They got Cam Ward 7. They got Shadur Sanders 6. They got McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, 5th.
Yeah.
Graham 4th. Carter.
Ted
3rd.
McMillan is.
Yeah, they got him 5th. They got Genty 2nd, and they got Travis Hunter 1st.
I don't think the NFL. You ever notice how when you see these types of lists, and then the draft starts to unfold, draft night, everybody looks stupid. Well, what the hell are they doing? That's a reach. No, it's not a reach. They know better than you. Like, no,
Hamilton at 2,
the media,
guys.
Dude, the media be so damn shocked. Like, I can't believe those NFL organizations misled me. Of course they misled you. They don't give a damn about what you like. The media kill me that every year. Yeah. Well, that's a reach. No, it's not a reach. Yeah. They just misled you, and they told you they was going to draft somebody. Like, it happens every year. You just never really know with these picks, man. It's
because Ted McMillan at 5 is crazy.
I don't think the league is as high on them as the media pushing.
That's insane.
I mean,
yeah, that's insane, bro. If there's nothing about him that's special, bro.
If you think that his size gives him an advantage, okay, I guess 6'5", 212 runs. They said he runs a 4.5.
We're gonna find out at the combine. He's 6'3".
We're gonna find out for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Remember when we heard Drake London was 6'5", and then we found out the
it's just funny because I mean, even on this thing, they got Kelvin Banks ranked ahead of Will Campbell, and I think that's just ridiculous.
I've been hearing Will Campbell's falling. I've been hearing stupid stuff. Oh, he's the best left tackle in the class, but no one's gonna get a left tackle, so it's just falling. I'm like, what?
I think it's all comes down to like what you view him as. Some teams, I think, believe he's a tackle. I compare it to Pete Skoronski, but I'm like, listen, if he's a way more physical, more of a maul than Pete Skoronski, I would feel more comfortable playing Will on the outside, probably at right tackle.
Yeah,
not necessarily at left tackle, but damn sure at guard. Like Will, you will get the best of Will Campbell on a couple plays, but he'll get the best of you the next 15.
I don't know if y'all heard this from the Seattle brass. The GM said, he had some comments he had to walk back last year. He said, and he walked them back because his offensive line was like terrible this year. He said a guard is a guard. It's a guard. It's like I've overdrafted guards, I've overpaid guards, and that's not something we're gonna do in the future. And he had to walk that back. Like, I'm not saying the guard is a meaningless position. Just saying, like, it matters, but is it of high importance compared to a defensive tackle in this class, compared to an edge in this class? So even the clubs are saying like they value a certain talent at a certain position as rare. Even the clubs are saying, like, yeah, this guy's a great player. He's good. We need him, but we need that over there. So that's another reason these guys fall. Like when you start to see these crazy twitchy athletes and you're like Seattle and you can't rush the passer and you see a guy like, what's the guy from Penn State?
Abdul Carter,
and he drops. You need a guard in the first round. Everybody knows your offensive line can't block for Geno Smith, who still had like 3,700 yards out of nowhere. You know you can't block for this dude. You know you need a guard. You don't want to draft him because that's a guard. This is such a rare talent over here. Let's go get him. And then you still have the same issue going into next year. And it's just pathetic. These guys are, it's like they overanalyze. Like they sit in the meeting rooms and it's just like, what if we had Roy Williams?
Well, this is what me and Walt talk about every time we talk about draft. Is every time this comes around, like me and you talked about this last year. Well, all these teams, they get stupid. They go from what they think. They're like the Lions, right? Like the Lions did it with
Mike Williams.
Well, not even that. Okuda. They were like, oh,
that was crazy.
We need a cornerback. When have you seen a cornerback go third overall? And if he goes third overall, I expect the Jalen Ramsey. I expect the Patrick Peterson. That's what I expect.
Right.
You got
and Tom
Derek
McShay said he was a perennial Pro Bowler for years to come. He's 6 foot. His 40 time is a 4.58. Terrion's 40 time was what, 4.59?
Yeah.
Terrion was taken 28th, 24th,
yep. 24th or something like that. Yeah.
You can find it, bro. This guy's not 6'3". This guy's
he wasn't a big corner. Yeah, he wasn't a big corner like who was the guy?
But remember, that was a different regime that did that too.
Yeah, it was a different regime. But that point doesn't make sense.
My point still remains the same. These teams do this all the time. They say they get fancy by like the position. You know what I'm saying? They get fancy by the position. Like sometimes you
position
just gotta,
value.
Sometimes you just gotta take what's coming to you. Like if you need a guard and there's a guard in front of your face, take the effing guard, man.
Right. If you need a guard, take a guard, because in that draft specifically, Okuda was. You see now we didn't got a comparison going. Oh boy, we're up there now. So yeah, Sherman was taken in the 5th, 6th round exactly, and then guess what? I'll do you one better. Tariq Woolen was taken in the 4th round. They just let these guys fall, and they see the measurables. Sherman still ran a 4.4.
AJ Terrell was what, the 18th overall pick, I think,
and was a better player. And then guess what? Okuda's shining light was he played man coverage at Ohio State. He was on the best receivers. Who is the best receiver in the Big Ten?
You know what's weird about
Nico Collins?
Man? Yeah, that is. And Nico killed that boy.
About?
Nico was baby fat Nico.
Yeah, exactly. That boy. Exactly.
That's crazy though. But him and Chase Young were what, number 1 to number 2 coming out of high school.
Yep.
Then if you look at the NFL draft, wasn't they number 1 to 1 and 3?
Yeah, 1 and 3. No, 2 and 3.
Both of them turned out to be busts.
Yep. They didn't become nothing that they were expected to be. But remember last year, Walt, we was talking about these quarterbacks coming out. We said that it depends on who the team that they get drafted by and what team is going to put them in the best position to succeed. It's kind of the same thing we talking about with like the positional players, like the guards and everything. Like, okay, you draft a cornerback at like 4, right? Like, let's say someone drafts Travis Hunter and he doesn't become what you think he's supposed to be, like a Jalen Ramsey.
He definitely needs to go to the right organization.
Right.
He definitely needs it.
Because if a team puts him out on an island, like, okay, like, what's he gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? And if like someone drafts Abdul Carter and they don't got a good defensive tackle in the middle.
Tennessee, dude.
Tennessee, that's what Tennessee's
gonna
do.
Go ahead. Hey, man, listen. It's only 2 picks. It's either Cam Ward for y'all or is Abdul Carter. I'm about to call it Abdul Carter.
And with Landry doing this move,
the
team's already moved on from you.
Think about it. But him with Tavondre Sweat protection in the front.
But they need a quarterback.
Jeff Simmons.
A quarterback.
But you know what? They in the Arch Manning sweepstakes for next year.
Oh, that's true.
I saw somebody on TV make a valid point case for them trading. If you're Tennessee, let's say hey man, listen, we got a decent roster. I actually like the Titans roster overall. I think they've done a good job of building that team over the last 2-3 drafts.
I like Skoronski.
Yeah, I don't know about him though. But J.C. Latham.
Yeah, Latham. I like Latham.
Yeah, but if you look at them, they got a pretty decent roster, man. They've invested in the offensive line over the last couple of drafts, so it's not from lack of effort.
Yeah.
Will Levis didn't turn out to be anything. Never expected him to turn out to be anything. If you're them, do you say we could possibly trade? Let's say who's picking third, the Giants or New England?
Yeah,
I think New England.
Because Cleveland's picking second. So let's say the Giants want to come from 4 up to number 1 to get Cam Ward or Shador or whatever. You can move back to 4. If you're Tennessee, you probably feel more comfortable taking Travis Hunter at 4 if you want to, or taking maybe Abdul Carter. Maybe the quarterbacks go, and then Abdul Carter's there for you at 4. You pick up a few more extra picks, and you continue to build that roster. You go out, not to say you go out and you give Sam Darnold any damn money, because you can do that if you want to, but you can go find you a veteran, a Jameis Winston or somebody to be at least be a placeholder for the next couple years.
So
until you do get your quarterback that you actually do like.
That's gonna blow up because check this out. Cleveland's picking that too. And Cleveland could take an edge.
They could.
Yeah.
And they could move on from Myles Garrett with the best edge in the class.
I think the Browns are gonna take quarterback though.
You think
they don't need that, bro.
They don't have one in the room right now.
But
during DTR, you can't play him again.
You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't throw.
You already tried to win a championship with the trading for what's his name and all this.
Well, you got massage boy. You got to scrap that, man. You got to send him back to the massage parlor because you can't do this stuff no more.
What's up with these massage parlors and these weirdos, man?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's the whole.
I thought the weirdos. I thought the weirdos was the people that's working at the massage parlor. Like I do some strange. I do something strange. No, it's the people going at them.
Well, now we hey,
yeah, I'm gonna do something for you. I got you.
He just rolled over. Give me my normal. Give me my regular.
Now we know why. Now we know why Justin Tucker was missing kicks, man. He's throwing blanks at the massage parlor.
Right. Man. He wasn't getting them pregnant like he's supposed to, man. He was supposed to be knocking them out.
But I think that raises an age-old question. Like, if you don't believe in a quarterback at number 1, because most people will tell you if you don't have a quarterback, you had the number 1 overall pick, you got to take a quarterback. I don't believe that. I think one of the worst things you can do is just be peer pressured into taking some bum.
I wouldn't do it.
It would suck to be a Browns fan right now. I gotta ask how they doing,
because you know what's the most Cleveland Brown thing to happen. You know, will be they remain at number 2. Tennessee takes whoever they take, and whoever the Browns take quarterback wise, number 2 becomes a bust. Like that would be the most Brown thing ever. Even though I don't want to see neither one of their names on that damn shirt.
Yeah.
So Shador
I
don't want to see on that damn shirt they got with the marker names on it.
I don't think Poppy would let Shador go to Cleveland. So
right.
Oh, Dion walked out on the stage and snatched the Browns jersey away from.
He'd be going out there himself. He'd be hobbling up there, be like, "No, bro, you ain't going there."
No, this is no Goodell. You promised me better.
He going to the Raiders.
This ain't part of what we discussed. Shut up. The microphone's on.
It's a lot of bad teams. If I was Shador, this might be a power play. Shador
fall.
Yeah, I would just fall, bro, because look at this.
That's what I was thinking too.
Cleveland Browns. New York is appealing because they actually have a defense.
I like the Giants. Yeah, I like Malik Neighbors.
And it would it'd be good for Shador because he liked the spotlight. So
great. But the New England Patriots don't need a quarterback. Jacksonville, Jacksonville's biggest needs are, check this out, is saying quarterback. That's
damn.
Wow.
Damn, Trevor.
They just paid him. Las Vegas. Oh my God.
I think Brady, if he can't get somebody, no. We'd be shocked, man. Jackson Dart, it wouldn't shock me if he jumped up. And that's another reason why. That's another reason why I think it happens. When you go to the combine and throw, you move up. Look at Anthony Richardson. He might be one of the worst quarterbacks ever, but he moved up.
New York Jets can get Jackson in the second round, bro, and they'll probably rock with Jackson. Knowing AG, all he's gonna do is run the ball and play man defense. He's not a schemer, okay? So he's just gonna run the ball. He's gonna get Jackson Dart second pick in the second round or whatever.
Running man. I don't think you bring in Aaron Glenn in to run a scheme. I think you bring in Aaron Glenn in to change that culture. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's all.
Give us some of that grit.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I think
gas, no brakes.
If you was asking me who's going to be the better head coach, I'd say Aaron Glenn over Ben Johnson, to be honest.
Why? Because he's a leader of men.
Well, I think the Jets need a leader, man. Number one, and I think
No,
I like the staff he put around him. Number two,
it's a good staff.
I like the staff he put around him because that's the number one reason why coaches fail in the NFL. They don't have a staff. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Ben Johnson can turn the Bears to a winner, bro?
No.
Ben Johnson?
Well, we talking about Bears and Jets, though. We ain't talking about the best.
Wow, bro. Like,
we ain't talking about the best organizations now.
See, check this out. Go on a Jets page right now, like a Jets Reddit, whatever.
I don't want to do that.
Bro, they mad at him right now for getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. Yes. They said, how can we not win with Aaron Rodgers? You can't. I'm like, bro, you're insane.
Y'all really think that man wants Aaron Rodgers there?
Bro, hell no, bro.
Hell
no. He's going to implode, bro. He's going to destroy your whole life, bro. He's going to destroy your life.
So,
you ain't going to have no job.
So sometimes I get like a little bit down on the dumps and I say, let me go listen to New York radio. And I find both those fan bases the most toxic fan bases in the NFL. The Jets and the Giants. I literally heard someone in the beginning of the season when they were talking about Daniel Jones. This guy literally told the Boomer and Geo of the WFAN, he's like, this Daniel Jones, he's going to turn it around this season. And guess what happened? And it didn't happen. And then there was a Jets caller that was saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to lead them to a Super Bowl after they beat the Bills. They beat the Texans. He said they're going to get on a run. They're going to go to Super Bowl.
7 sacks. That's why they won. They didn't win because of him. No, they had 7 sacks in that game.
Oh, I'm about to say, damn. That's some video game shit. How the hell are those 17 games only get 7 sacks for the whole season?
Stroud got sacked 7 times in that game. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked old, bro.
No, the defense played good. That's what won in the game.
Yeah.
But
Glenn, though, what do y'all think he does at 7? Because me and you talked about that. I still think Malachi Starks is probably in play for him at 7. Simply because that gives him part of what he really wants to have. Who's trash? Malachi Starks is trash?
No, not Malachi.
Oh,
I'm about to say. That pick needs to be a cultural pick. That needs to be like the best tackle. They need a quarterback, but come on now. They need a defensive tackle. That's a lie. They need a cornerback. That's a lie. Bro, they definitely need a tackle, bro. They need a tackle. They need to get that offensive line together because Malachi Starks is sexy. That's sexy, but you all
safety ain't sexy.
No. You know how they're gonna use. You already know how they're gonna use him. They're gonna use him like they use Branch. You already know they're gonna put him on the corner, put him on the slot, and they're gonna have something. And then they're gonna get a guy in free agency because they got all that money. They're gonna figure it out.
That jet money, huh?
That jet money. That little $12 million in cap room. That little, but. Malachi Starks would be his pick, and it's so terrible because it fit what he want to do and play man coverage and have a BB and all this other stuff.
Sorry, I like Daniel Jeremiah a lot. You know who he has a Jets drafting?
Who?
You ain't gonna believe this. Take a guess.
Okay.
Travis Hunter.
No. That's terrible, bro.
What position?
He's not a good player.
It's an offensive position.
Oh,
offensive
line?
Not
Ted McMillan.
No, it ain't offensive line. They got
wide receiver.
They got the Jets drafting Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State.
Don't they have like 4 tight ends already on the roster that they don't throw to?
He said the Jets ranked second to last in rushing offense last season. They desperately need another target in the passing game. Warren helps them improve on both areas.
No, bro. They need a tight end you can get in the 3rd round, bro. That Jets stuff is interesting. I should make a channel, bro, because I'm like, bro, you get Malachi Starks, you got some there, but you already got Sauce, bro. He takes away size of the field. You can draft a corner. He don't take away something.
Cam Warren.
I'm arguing with you now.
You already know good and well that man don't play in no man coverage defense. That man ain't out there doing that.
Cam Ward went to the Browns at 2.
People be overselling the hell out of Sauce, man. Sauce ain't out there erasing people. People been out there they've been keeping it real on Sauce, man. We know it.
Oh, you about to set Avery off now? He about to go on a tangent now.
No, because I think this
literally the best corner in the NFL, bro.
As a rookie, yeah. You been paying attention the last 2 years?
Wow. Bro, he has no team,
the last 2 years?
He has no team.
We talking about him as a player, bro. We ain't talking about the team around him. You as a corner, that's what we talking about.
Well, he got
we ain't
injured
talking
the
about what he
second
got
year.
around.
He had an
We talking
injury
about
the
him as a
second year.
corner.
Bro.
Now Stingley started slow. It's funny though because Sauce started hot his rookie year. Stingley started kind of slow. Stingley picked up some steam, and Stingley looks like the better player now.
Everybody knew Stingley was gonna be that guy, bro. Who was saying Stingley wasn't that guy, bro? That was weird. Who's saying that? I gotta see them people. Because Stingley was running.
Who's talking about? Who said he wasn't?
Oh no, I thought you were saying like people thought Stingley was rough, like starting
No,
off
I'm
rough. I
saying
thought he was good.
No, I'm saying Stingley started slow. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You think about it, going back to LSU, them final couple years at LSU wasn't all that great. Because he was like the number 1, number 2 overall prospect coming out of high school. So he started as a freshman. He started as a freshman, matter of fact. And then them final 2 years at Alabama, he wasn't looking all too hot. So the NFL, I think that's where I think it goes back to the relationships. Same thing with Walter Nolan. I was about to go run to some numbers.
I ain't running no numbers.
No, but same thing with Walter Nolan. I think the NFL, they build relationships with these people. They knew who Walter Nolan was since high school. Everybody knew who Derek Stingley was since high school. Funny thing is, I think him and his father said it at the NFL draft that, we heard a lot about how I'm supposed to slip and my 40 time wasn't what people expected to be, but the NFL knows who my son is. Like, so it gets to a point where sometimes it's so not even nepotism, but a lot of times it's so built on past relationships. With some of these players, I think teams will go ahead and ignore what they see or don't see in college.
Well, it's becoming like the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the NBA is now because college basketball is like.
No, I mean, if you want to be honest, like look at the NBA around the NBA. Like you got Ron Harper's kid, you got Pippen's kid, you got freaking LeBron's
really
kid.
A privileged league now.
Yeah, it's like where's my dog? Where's my dogs at? Like Shadur Sanders. Like you said it earlier. Like if his name wasn't Sanders and it was like Brown or like Shadur Mountain, like he could have a last name Mountain, and they'd be like, is he really the top 5 pick?
He a top 20 pick.
Okay, I give you that. But
what does PFF have him right now? Because PFF had him like 38 at one point in time. Like
38.
Dude, like it's it's like overall prospect.
Bro. Crazy.
And then to hear, my film speaks for itself. Like I don't know,
bro,
man.
He's not.
It's
he's
a lot of
terror, bro. He's just a dink and dunk. I don't like quarterbacks like that. By the way,
the offensive line was bad too, so I get it. He developed some bad habits behind the offensive line. I think he drops back way too far, way too often. He holds the ball too long. There's a decent amount of issues I had with Shadur.
I don't like the pretty stuff. I don't like the social media. I don't like the
jewelry.
Camera. I don't care about jewelry. I care about like
flashing.
He's 45 now.
Yeah, just showing. You said what? He's 45.
He's 45 in Pro Football Focus. Cam Ward's 20th. Dylan Gabriel's 78th.
Come on, bro.
Y'all
losing credibility by the minute.
Jalen Milroe is 102. Where's Quinn Ewers? Quinn Ewers. Holy shit! Quinn Ewers is 138 and Jackson Dart's 126.
Hey, look, check this out. This is how crazy it is. I seen Woodward Sports, I think, talk about Jalen Milroe, and let's get a gadget guy like that. I swear to God. I said, let's get a gadget guy like Jalen Milroe.
I hear Lions fans throw the whole Milroe name around lately. Like,
that's insane, bro.
So basically, y'all want somebody that's no threat to Jared Goff there.
I hear
not even to get back on it, but it's like why him though?
Jalen Milroe.
No, I heard no, you gotta search the page, man. These people want Milroe. There's a lot of people that want Milroe right now.
Why? He ain't do nothing. He's not a winner.
No, I'll tell you.
He's not a winner, bro. He ain't win nothing.
Give me one of those black guys that can run.
Right.
That's probably what it is. But they what's getting the people all bent up and crazy is because someone made the comparison to Milroe. They made the comparison to Milroe to Jalen Hurts. That's what the comparison is.
Stop.
That's
Stop. They are crazy.
it's one.
Jalen Hurts was a better passer than Milroe. Milroe can't even complete a. He can't even complete it to a dog. He can't even play fetch with a dog.
Can't play fetch with a dog.
I'm just saying, Jalen Milroe is not that, bro. A quarter, bro. I'm not even with the whole like. I'm not even gonna do it.
What is he gonna run at the combine?
A 4.1, and then they're gonna say he's an excellent weapon for us, and he's a weapon. Yeah, weapon. And then 4 years down the line, yeah, I think we should sign him to a $10 million deal, like Justin Fields, another person I didn't like. I thought that was a terrible pick. Terrible for any organization.
I thought he'd be all right, but he went. I feel like if he would have went to a situation like a better situation, yeah, I think he'd be a better situation, to be honest. See, that Trey Lance was a stupid pick too. That was a dumbass.
Very
pick.
dumb.
He just got released. He got released
from Dallas today.
Yeah,
now think
yesterday.
Think about that. He became the number 2 overall pick with what, 12 career starts?
Exactly.
Because he played 11 games. That he played the year before COVID. He played 11 years. He played 11 games.
Yeah.
And then the COVID season, he played that one showcase game,
which was a total bullshit game.
So pretty much you had 11 career starts and became the number 2 overall pick. And Kyle Shanahan did that.
John Lynch did that. John Lynch is a good general manager. I think
that's the type of move you should lose your job for. They survived that. They got Brock Purdy.
They got so lucky.
Because they traded. It's weird because they traded up to get him, and they got a 6th in return that next year or 2 years later. Yeah, and they picked Purdy.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. They saved their jobs picking Purdy, dude, and now Purdy might get paid $112.
That Trey Lance and that Zach Wilson shit had me pulling my hair out there. I'm like,
that was
y'all
bad.
I can't believe this shit. Like y'all really like these people.
People like Zach. Zach had a lot of moxie though. He had a lot of moxie, and he was throwing deep though. He was throwing deep.
No, I love what they won. What was it? The guy on NFL Network. God, what's his name? It's not Daniel Jeremiah. It's the other guy. He was saying Zach Wilson, he can make all the throws like Patrick Mahomes, and I was like,
"No, bro." Yeah, they're comparing him and Aaron Rodgers.
Because they would not like that. You know how they would show the highlight tape and they'd show him just throwing on the run, just gunning it downfield, and you're like, "What, bro?" Like,
and the thing about it is, Zach had a nice arm. Yeah, Zach had a nice arm, but when I watch those BYU games, like I don't see what y'all blowing this dude's arm out to be. Like it's nice.
That's one pick I wanted, bro. I didn't want him like in first round. I didn't think he was a first round time. If we made that trade with Carolina, that's something I would have been interested in. Right? But we honored Matthew and got embarrassed. So
I wonder who the second pick would have been if they would have made that trade with Carolina. They would have took Sue at 7 and then
Parsons.
Oh, I would have liked Parsons.
Oh yeah, that's
Penn State was really trying to smear his image.
But I can't fault them for the LA trade because we got Branch out of it and Laporta and JMO and Gibbs, and I'll take that for sure.
We got a good deal out of it. They got a Super Bowl, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, we'll see what we get, but I don't know.
We better get a Super Bowl. I'm not playing with
Super Bowls.
Who knows? We can win 4 Super Bowls.
Look, y'all can get 1 Super Bowl, bro, and y'all can return to being the Lions. Okay.
No, I don't do that.
I'll do that. I'll do that quick, bro.
I'll stop making the Lions, bro.
I'll keep doing it.
I'll quit making content.
I'll keep doing it, bro. No, remember the grit era. The grit era.
Hey, the grit era. Panthers Avenue. Hey, I done swapped out hats real quick.
Well, earlier in the podcast, Spirit of Detroit was saying he could make Spirit of Cleveland. I dare you to make that shit.
Brown ass background.
I would
blend it in the background, bro. That brown too perfect.
I would pay money to see you talk about the Cleveland Browns because that shit is
I don't even know where to start. We suck.
Don't even get me started on them couch.
Right. You be like that radio guy who it's funny as hell. He's in an 11 to like 2 o'clock time slot, whatever.
Okay.
And there's a guy who calls in every Monday after a Baker Mayfield win, and he talks about Baker Mayfield. He goes, and this guy goes, "I don't want to hear about Baker Mayfield."
Yeah. Yeah, my man.
Like, I don't care
I'm
about
just
Baker
saying.
Mayfield.
He played
Man,
injured.
them
See, that's-
Browns content creators, boy, they be under some
Woo.
stress.
Hey, you always got content though, bro.
See,
you always, you can
they,
talk about.
they don't know how to lose because I could watch a Tennessee. There's a Tennessee guy. He had a viral video of like, okay, we're about to play the Lions. I know they're gonna win, but it's only by how much? I'm like, whoa, shit! He just we're gonna react to their trick plays.
Can we cover the spread?
Bro,
Yeah, that's how you lose.
I
If you
think
want to be a loser, that's how you lose.
I think the saddest thing is one of my buddy. He's a Jaguars content creator. Talk about bad, bro.
That's not bad. Your quarterback is just too iffy, bro. This goes good. Your defense was good at one time. I don't know, like, what's the problem down there, man?
If your quarterback is iffy, you don't stand a chance, bro.
Yeah, that guy's iffy, bro. And then check this out. The last thing I'm gonna say, man, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. They hired a 13-year-old boy as a GM. I don't know. I don't know. Man.
Oh no, give him more credit in that. He used to manage McDonald's or Starbucks.
I swear,
Brad
to God,
Holmes was working in the league when this dude was born, and this dude already a GM like Brad. It's
I
crazy.
swear to God, I saw that and I was like, bro, this guy couldn't fill out the medium section at Kohl's, bro. This kid's like.
This dude wore his dad's suit to the damn interview.
It looks so bad. It looks so bad.
His mom dropped him off at the interview.
I've seen his presser. We're gonna make a good product for you guys, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna win.
Oh, you can tell
our job. I'm like, what the?
Then he sips his Sunny Delight.
Yeah, the boy got a Sunny Delight. Hey, the comments are like more empty promises from a 12-year-old kid, and I'm like, oh, shit.
He reading a teleprompter. Last Jaguars.
That's the same shit that he said.
Yeah, they got the.
I don't even think Trevor bad, man. Trevor is just an enigma, bro. Like when you watch Jags games, I watch Trevor like, damn, Trevor, great throw. I find myself rooting for this dude, and then I'm like, damn, Trevor. Like, damn, really, Trevor? Like, no, you gonna airmail that, Trevor?
No, you know,
like, there was no pressure, Trevor. Like,
you know who I compared Trevor Lawrence to, and I think this guy was actually decent, but he just kind of flamed out. To be honest, was what's the guy? Oh God, jeez, Pete's man, escaped me. I don't know. I'll think of it. But Trevor Lawrence, man, it was the AFC West. I think it was the. No, it wasn't the Raiders. The Raiders sucked. So it was
not Paxton Lynch.
No, Paxton Lynch.
He's the worst dude to ever play quarterback.
Paxton Lynch sucked. He was horrible. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he was, though, to be honest. I saw that Memphis tape and I was like, oh, man, he's going to be
tall and can run.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be legit. And then this guy comes out and he's throwing like ducks. I'm like, oh, geez. Oh my God, it's escape. Oh, I'll figure it out. But Trevor Lawrence, man, I watch him and I go, I don't know how you could build a team around the guy. To be honest, that's what I say.
He's too hot and cold. That's the problem. He's way too hot and cold, man. But he'll have some moments, and that's the thing with Trevor. Is like he don't rock the boat. He's a good kid. He's got a ton of talent. He's still 25 years. Was he?
You know what I compare him to? Dak Prescott.
No, he's got more physical talent, I think, than Prescott.
Whoa.
I think they're the same quarterback, to be honest. Like,
nah, what you about to say, man? Dak Prescott got big cannon and big time legs. And they ain't the same player, bro. You can say maybe not even productivity wise.
They're both losers.
Yeah,
they got a lot in common. High paid losers.
That got there's
a
lot of those in the league at quarterback. Yeah. No, I think shit. Well, Dak been pretty productive, but Dak was a 3rd round pick though. So we comparing a guy that was a 3rd round pick to a guy that was the number 1 overall pick.
That's terrible too. He shouldn't even be in the same space, but they both did something well. They started and they did loser shit.
I think it's a big year for Trevor though.
It's definitely
big year. Oh, people looking at that check. See, people know what you get paid.
The thing is this: he plays in Jacksonville, so nobody gives a shit. If he was a Giant, oh yeah, they'd be New York media be all over that dude, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The problem is the thing for him. Same thing with Stafford. Stafford, when he went through struggles here, he was a lion. So instead of people looking at it like it's his fault, they just looked at it as, oh, it's the Lions' fault. It's not you.
Yeah.
So people didn't really consider it. Like people don't really consider Trevor. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah. I remember we had the top offensive. Remember we had the top offense when we was 1-6. We was like 1-6. I had a rant. We had the number one offense in the league. Y'all have lionized the best stat in football. Y'all have somehow been a joke. The number one offense is a joke. And then we won the rest of the games.
Remember when John Kitna threw for 4,000 yards in the Mike Martz?
He threw what?
Everybody 4,000 yards. What? Well, hold on. 4,000 yards and like
when
17
did he throw
touchdowns.
That? No, whoa.
The touchdowns was real slow. They was real low. But everybody was talking about how he should have been a Pro Bowl quarterback under Mike Mart's system. He threw for 4,000 yards. I'm like, man, y'all just get too caught up in these numbers. Stafford threw for 5,000 yards, but they only had 25 touchdown passes.
I still think 5,025 touchdowns was great, but I just look at Jacksonville though, and I look at Liam Cohen, the new coach, and I say Trevor's effed. He is totally effed. Totally.
So in history, is it gonna go? I personally think both sides play a role in it because I wasn't a big Trevor fan coming out of college. I thought the same thing. I thought he was real hot and cold.
Yep.
So is it him or is it more so Jacksonville fumbling him? Because I think Jacksonville, if you look at that talent on that roster, now they do have some issues defensively in some other areas, offensive line too. That team should have been better in that division.
Oh yeah,
with better quarterback play.
The AFC South is ass. It's total ass.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. And then
it's a bad division.
You know what's funny is that division. We talked about. Brad Holmes talking about, we swept the AFC South, and we did it. We 8-0 on the road against nobodies, bro. We was too big for our own britches, bro. We was talking about we beat the Colts and the Tennessee.
Didn't Minnesota
Titans,
sweep them too?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
so that kills it right there. So so the South wasn't no bullies. They were.
I think everyone went into the season with the AFC South, and they were like, it's going to be a better division than people think. And then the Texans kind of didn't look as good as they were. Colts didn't look as good as they were because Anthony Richardson's busy checking out of.
I thought he would have. They should be better. That's another team that would be better with better quarterback play.
I think the Colts are a quarterback away, to be honest, if we're going to be totally honest. But
yeah, absolutely. No, they're a quarterback away. You don't draft Anthony Richardson, bro. You shouldn't have drafted him, bro. That's just a terrible player.
They were swinging for the fences, bro.
Tyler, he's a Colts fan. He's an undercover Colts fan. He said that like Anthony Richardson, the Lions should have drafted him. I was like, no, I watched him at Florida, and I'd never liked Anthony Richardson at all. Like,
what's weird about it? As a true freshman, though, when he was like 25 pounds lighter.
Yeah, 25 pounds lighter.
He threw the ball a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
Now he had more touch and everything. Now he's just way too muscle bound.
He's heavier and he's got that weight reaction. He's just like fucking just throwing it, man. Like the Jamarcus Russell type bullshit, like where he's all on lean. It's like, bro.
I mean, I get it though. Like when you look at Anthony Richardson, you see how he performed at the combine. Now to your point, that's part of it. That's part of it.
These dudes up, bro. They be really boosting these dudes up.
He had like 16 career starts at Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the people are saying they love his arm and they think he has the best arm talent in the draft. He did have a rocket for an arm, but the problem was it just didn't go nowhere. It was like all erratic, man.
Yeah.
I told people the same thing about DJ Uyunglele.
Oh yeah, he's trash.
When he throws, he's gonna probably throw the football better than anybody there tomorrow.
He can throw a deep ball as good as anyone. Yeah,
he got the strongest arm out of everybody there. But and there's gonna probably be somebody that's gonna see DJ and say, I can fix that.
I can fix that. Oh man, stop it, man.
You know what they're gonna do? It's gonna be somebody like New Orleans, somebody who's desperate. Somebody who's just like, I can do that.
Kellen Moore would do that. For sure.
Kellen Moore, I'm like, I can fix him.
Yeah,
I fix Cleveland. Hurts. I won the Super Bowl.
I can see Cleveland taking a
Cleveland,
if they don't do it at number 2. I can see
Ulungwe
Cleveland taking a
starting week
quarterback.
1. We're gonna have a quarterback competition between shit, a rapist, and Ulungwe.
How you put my name next to shit? I thought DJ was supposed to be going to play baseball, man. Who the hell drafted him?
I think the Rangers did. The
Yeah,
Rangers
man.
did. See, if I was DJ, I wouldn't even came back to college football. I would have just left. Like, to be honest, like
I would have left 2 years ago, man.
you were kind of just like, you had a good year at Oregon State. You know, that was probably your best year of your career, and then you wanted to go to Florida State, and you just
after they lost like 70 players,
bombed out. You just bombed out. Like, you're just like, you went there and you absolutely showed your ass. Like, you lost at Georgia Tech in the first game, and it was not good, and then it went all downhill from there. And I was like, man.
I'm gonna ask you this, Joe. I don't know how close you are to the Colts or whatnot. You are a Titans fan, though. Yeah. Any chance Jackson Dart falls there? Because once we start talking about quarterbacks who, after the top 2 guys, we assume Shador and Cam are going to be the top 2 quarterbacks go off the board.
Yeah.
You think the Colts go quarterback in the first round?
Nope, not with that general manager. That general manager he is one of the most stubborn dudes in the whole NFL, man. He is not going to take quarterback. He's going to lean into this Anthony Richardson till his job is dead.
Run some more. Get out there, run some more.
There's a guy who does a great YouTube channel. He does it in the AFC South, which I feel bad from, but whatever. He does a great job though. He does a good job covering all the teams, and he's pretty good at it. But he was saying the same thing. Like, he was saying, their general manager, he ain't gonna admit that he failed at the quarterback position. He picked the wrong quarterback. He's gonna hammer it home. You know, he's gonna be like a lot of these other people that are like, man, I can't admit that I'm wrong, and I'm just gonna keep going with it. That's what it goes down to.
As much as I want to see it work with A-Rich, I don't think it is, because when you look at, like, historically, quarterbacks who had 4 for 18 games, halves, 6 for 23, like, you talking about the Kyle Bowlers, you talking about the Paxton Lynch, the worst quarterback ever. Like, you know how hard it is as a quarterback with the way offensive coordinator scheme open guys for you to go 4 for 19 and a half. And Richardson did it 3 times this past season?
Yep.
Terrible.
Bro. Where it's offense is predicated and built today, so you don't have those types of situations.
It's even worse when you actually have a good team in front of you. You have Michael Pittman and Josh Downs, and I think those are good players. And then you have Mo Alley Cox, who I don't think he's a superstar, but he's a good tight end. And then you got Jonathan Taylor as your running back, and who was the other guy? Naeem Hines. Like, you have players on your team. You can't throw the ball. See, the whole part about Anthony Richardson that makes me laugh is when he just airmailed a throw to Taylor on a screen. It was the most amazing thing I ever seen in my entire life. This screen wasn't even close. You remember what was the quarterback? The Raiders, like a couple years ago. It was before Derek Carr, but he threw that screen that it was when McFadden was on. What?
Well, no, Connor Cook was there while he got drafted while Derek Carr was already there.
Yeah, it was. I forget the quarterback, but he threw the screen to, I forget the running back at the time, but he throws the screen, and it's not even close. It's like literally over the dude's head by 12 feet. That's exactly what Richardson does. I mean, he is who he is. I
think most Lions fans had never really, because most of us not watching Colts games on Sundays. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But when you got a chance to see him when the Lions played them towards the end of the season, it's like, damn, why does he throw every football unnecessarily hot? And then when you watch him throw, it's like, dude, like, you so yoked up top. Everything and then you look at everything, there's no wrist action really. Everything is just a power throw. I compare him. Same thing with Jalen Milroe. Like, Jalen Milroe can throw a football a mile.
You know who Anthony Richardson is? I'll tell you exactly who he is. Same quarterback, because they do the same effing thing, and they're in the same division. He's Will Levis.
Yeah.
Will Levis does it. Will Levis does the same shit, dude. He will power through a throw like when he doesn't need it. Like he almost took Calvin Ridley's head off. In
17-point Will Levis.
I mean, this guy, he has guns for an arm. Like his arms are huge. He's all yoked up on mayo, and this guy he throws his ass.
Oh yeah, yo. One of the
Game
two.
may be delicious, you know what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, he's throwing a ball to Calvin Ridley over the middle, and Calvin Ridley, like, it looked like he got shot by a bazooka, bro. Like, he's trying to hold on to this thing like it's like a freaking rocket launcher. Like he's like, nah. I'm like,
dude, it's the same thing with watching A Rich. It's like why is that a power throw? Why was that a power throw? Why are you like touch. He was just wide open on the short comeback. Why did he have to jump and reach to the outskirts to catch the why? Like why are these footballs like this? But then you see him make that 70-yard throw.
And you're like, wow,
where he slipped and then
See, that's where
I'm gonna show you.
That's where I see Lions fans. They'd all be like, "Oh, we need a quarterback that could throw deep." I said, "Oh, okay, you could take Anthony Richardson. I'm pretty sure the Colts would take Jared Goff in a second."
I'm gonna share something with y'all, man. I'm gonna share something with y'all. I just want to share y'all what I've been working on. I'm so sorry. I just wanted y'all spoke up Jared Goff. This is gonna be my format moving forward. I don't know if you want to see it. Because when I show people stats and stuff, if you can present it.
Where is it?
I put it in there. It's there.
Oh, that's it. Hold up. Let me put this away.
Nah, that's nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've been working on my boy. So that words are moving. But yeah. Jared Goff. Look, that's like 5 layers. That's 5 layers. I'm not doing this for him to lose in the playoffs, okay? Because I'll be one of them. I need a deep arm quarterback in a minute. Man,
trade for Milton. Low key, Milton. Hate to say it, but Milton looks like he may be a little bit more coherent than Anthony Richardson out there.
Oh shoot, what happened?
No, good. Oh, there he is.
No, you know what I want to see? I didn't like the Hendon Hooker pick. And we're not going to get a revisit on this, but I would love to see your head explode if they draft Jalen Milroe in the 4th round. And then Brett Holmes comes out and goes, "I drafted him because he's a gadget player."
There's other gadget players. There's dudes that can catch the ball that are gadget players, bro.
We're not going to commit to this whole mobile quarterback thing, but we'll bring one in as a gadget, though. And when we bring him in, we'll catch the defense off guard and let him throw.
Oh, it's gonna be like the Alex Orgy thing.
It's gonna be Alex Orgy.
They bring this boy in. They bring this boy in. They bring Alex Orgy into the run, and they're like, "Oh, no one knows it's coming, bro. Everyone knows it's coming. Every one of you guys know."
Alex Orgy completed a throw against me on College Football 25. I damn near threw the controller.
Oh yeah.
How in the hell did he complete a throw? This makes no sense.
They had his attributes all yoked up. That shit was stupid. This guy's completing passes like nothing.
Right. This dude was Cam Young.
I was like,
Vince Newton.
Oh wow.
I was like, man, I didn't know Alex Orgy turned into freaking CJ Stroud real quick. Like, the hell is going on here?
Yeah. Hey, look, Alex Orgy. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I lost to Boise State on the college football playoff, and they went all the way down the field. No, they went all the way down the field with quarterback I didn't even know. Look, check this out. I was like 12-0. I was the best team. Indiana rebuilt the whole thing. Did the whole thing. Rebuilt, got a running back, everything. Whole thing. 1st round picks all over the team. Guess what happens? We lose the 1st round against Boise State, bro.
You know what took me so long? It took me a full year playing this game, man. What I realized about it is more so scheme based than anything else.
Yep.
Like when you play against them real weird ass offenses like Middle Tennessee State have on there and some of those other teams, and you just find yourself in a situation, why can't I stop that? Why can't I stop that? It's just some of those matchups on there like that.
Man.
But it was a good game though. Ultimately,
I still think one of the craziest ones was when I played what was it Jacksonville State, and they run a wishbone offense. I didn't even know the wishbone offense was still around.
Yep.
Wow, bro.
They beat me.
You beat me, bro.
No, they didn't beat me. They took me down to the very
me
last
overtime,
few
bro.
seconds, dog. But what be killing me is when you like the very first game of the season, you lose to a real like a 3-star team or something, and then that team end up ultimately making the college football playoff or something. Then I feel
You're
better. Like, oh, so it was meant for me to lose to them.
Yeah, it was meant for me to lose. Yeah, that's how.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's
It ain't
how.
me.
That's how I got through the Rutgers loss. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the point in college football 20 or 20 whatever, bro. I'm at the point,
25.
bro.
Yeah.
I can't play, bro. Because I've lost so many playoffs. I can build the team, bro. I could build Hammerhead College, bro. And when I lose, bro, it's crazy, bro.
Because it
It's
never
always in
makes
the
sense on
playoffs.
there when you lose.
Exactly,
It
bro.
don't make the simulations never make sense. Like
They gotta jazz it down, man. Because some of these things, like the quarterback throwing a bomb down the field, like first of all, whoever that quarterback is of who was it? Mississippi State. I don't know who he was, but he threw a bomb 80 yards down the field. I was like, damn, that kid better be in the NFL right now because that was a bomb, dude. Just insane. But it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
look. I'm telling you, it's something in the air. Because when I lost the second playoff, okay, because I went back to back. When I watched the second playoff game and lost all my juniors and stuff, I lost to UNLV, bro. I don't know what they was doing. They was playing some crazy shit. I don't know what they was passing all over. I was like, "Who is this?" I was like, "Who is this?"
I get to the playoff. I'm always losing to Ohio State. Every single time I go, I end up seeing Ohio State.
It's only a matter of time before one of these gimmicky offenses come back into the NFL, though. That's my opinion.
I had to look up where UNLV was, bro.
You didn't know where?
Las Vegas.
No, bro. No, bro. No.
I'm gonna say this. I tell everybody, the game gets a lot more fun when you start getting 5-star players.
Oh yeah.
When you get better players, a lot of that janky bullshit that happens when you got a bunch of 83s out there.
Yeah.
And 79s don't happen no more.
Oh yeah. When you got a cornerback that's a 2-star, that ain't gonna happen no more.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I had to go. I had to tell Taylor Mills. Shout out to Taylor Mills. You helped build the program. You handed that boy off. Shout out. We moved on.
I'll say this. Y'all ever went digging through the 1-stars and found an elite?
Hell
I found an
no,
elite
man,
1-star once.
Hell
I found
no.
the
running back.
yeah.
I can't do no. I can't. No, bro. If you look when my program became a star. Look, when my program became a star, got an extra star.
He got snooty.
Yeah, I got a snooty, bro. Look, you are who you are, and you're not an extra star. For every extra star I get, you got to be the same star. You got to be equivalent, bro.
As long as they a diamond, though, I'll take it. Like once I build the whole book, like if I done got 23 commits already, and I got a bunch of hours left, I'll start crawling through the 2-stars, see what I can find. Like I said, I found the 1-star elite once, and he developed from like a 56 to I think he became an 89, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Over 3 years. I ended up leaving early as a 1-star. That shit threw me for a loop. Like, motherfucker, you was a 1-star. How the hell you leave early?
He got the bag.
No, literally, no. But I think, dude, the game I think turned out pretty decent. I might get 26. I might get 26.
I hope they revamp it a little bit, just a little bit. But I was excited about that. But the new Madden was cool too. I like that. That was good too.
Oh, I never got it.
The new draft
had 2 football games at the same time. I'm gonna neglect one of them.
Man, the new draft thing that they did, that was actually pretty dope. Not even gonna lie. I wish someone did that in real life, like the whole freaking like where they sorted out by attributes and all that stuff, and you could go by the attribute you want. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Raiders picked some guy that was like ran a 99 speed, and you're like, oh shit, and
speed.
Then he turned out to be an effing bust, and you're like, damn, that was nice, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here.
Over to the NFL. We went over to college football, though. The video game.
Game.
We hit it all. We hit on Hendon Hooker. I mean, me and Avery went at it. You know, that was great.
And I'd like to apologize to you. I gotta apologize publicly as I yell. But as fans is crazy.
He fired up about the team. I get it, man.
He tired about this Jared Goff love, bro. Like this dude is like.
See, Avery, you gotta tune out the fans, some of the fans, because they will make you insane, bro. Like I was telling
my
Walt,
wife came down here and asked me, "Am I okay?" and shit.
Like I was telling Walt a couple years ago, people was telling me James Houston was Von Miller 2.0. I had a person on the podcast that was saying he was 2.0. The same thing that guy said in the comments. That is the same thing I heard all off season long about. James
I had
Houston.
high hopes for James. I thought James was gonna be a star though, mainly because I saw what he did at Florida before he got kicked out of Florida, and then he took that what he did at Florida, even though they had him playing a different position at Florida, but he went to Jackson State and the production was still there. So I'm like, okay, old dude, he's 6 foot 6'1", got a little funny build body, but he got long arms, he got bend, he can get around at the edge, he can run the circle.
I wonder what James Houston would have been like if they would have kept him at linebacker and just like
just let him be a specialist.
Yeah, be a specialist kind of thing.
Well, I just wish they kept him hand in the dirt, pass rush. I think he got a sack this year. Got one sack.
Yeah, but you know what happened with him? He go out there, he have his hand in the dirt, and the next thing you know, they're running his way. They were running his way all the time.
He was a liability. You know, this team, they you can't be a liability in the run game as a defensive end.
I don't think you can be, especially in this division.
Yeah,
this division, you get eaten out. I mean, I don't care about Swift ain't some.
That's why you need Sawyer, because Sawyer is the best defensive end when it comes to the running game.
I think Jack Sawyer would be great. But I'm going to tell you this right now.
Stat wise, not me talking stat wise.
Avery, I'm going to tell you this right now. You better not make a Jack Sawyer come to the Lions video. I'll tell you that right now.
Why is that?
The Michigan Mafia will come after you.
We don't want Sawyer. He's a bum. He's a stinky Buckeye.
He cries after the game.
He's a troublemaker.
I didn't like what he did with the flag and all that. I didn't like that stuff. But
he's a sore loser.
Did you not see him make the biggest play in the friggin' national championship game? Like what? Like that was great.
Hey, but it's some damn good DNs in this class, man. Even Shamar Stewart, like I can see why Brad Holmes and them would like Shamar Stewart because he's 6'6", he's 280, borderline 290. But now there's questions on whether or not he has the overall athleticism to play on the edge or the pass rush move. So I've heard some teams discuss possibly moving him inside the defensive tackle, maybe at 3 tech.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. He got that Brockers build.
Yeah. I like that Howard Cross kid from Notre Dame, though. I think he could be a good defensive tackle. I don't know why he's listed as an edge player. That's stupid, but he's a defensive tackle, to be honest. He plays in a defense that's defensive tackle. So
yeah, this is nice, man. These guys is coming out. Not gonna lie, bro. Like you can mess around and get an edge. Would you like an edge in the first round? Because I can get an edge in the second round. Maybe.
Personally, I can't say because right now, like I said, it's all of it's speculation, and we don't know how the draft gonna fall. And like we was talking about earlier in the show, it's always guys who you feel like shouldn't have been there. Guys that you felt was gonna probably go in the top 12 who fell to 17, fell to 18, or whatever. For me, it's all about getting the best value. I always felt like if I needed an offensive lineman and I needed a defensive tackle, but I needed a corner, but didn't need the corner as bad. But if it came to my pick, the corner was the best overall player. I'm still gonna take the best overall player.
Like, what you think about that? What you think about that? That Princely Humanity?
From Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss. What you think about him?
He's cool. I mean, to me, he's another edge in that same type of mold that's in this class. A lot of those guys kind of fall into that same frame. But it matters.
Oh, you talking about they big and they don't have the pass rush moves and everything.
Yeah,
athleticism. Yeah,
for the most part, it's difficult, and it's like if you get the guy with all the pass rush moves, like Darius Alexander from Toledo, he lacks in the run game and he lacks anchor and he lacks power. But then you look at Shamar Stewart, who lacks all the pass rush moves, but he has the power. And the problem is, like at the next level, you're not gonna just run down every offensive lineman's chest.
No.
Everybody bench presses 430 or 440 in the NFL. Everybody's strong. Everybody's grown man strong. So if you think you're just gonna bull rush everybody and get to the quarterback, that's not happening. And I think that's why so many dudes don't pan out. Edge rushers don't pan out in the league because they don't have a wide enough array of pass rush moves.
I love that. I love that Scorton kid. Derek Harmon was right there too, and I think that'd be a decent pick, to be honest.
I like him because he at least gets home. He may not always. He needs help finishing the play.
Yeah,
but when I look at Shamar Stewart, Shamar doesn't get anywhere near home.
That's what I worry about with Shamar Stewart. I like Shamar Stewart, to be honest, but they just something about
the Will Campbell film against LSU is what really kind of deterred me away from Shamar Stewart, because Will Campbell has the T-Rex arms out there, and he was just throwing, and it wasn't just him. Both LSU tackles, Shamar be on the left side against Will Campbell. Will dominate him for 4 or 5 straight plays. They'll move Shamar to the right side. The right tackle will dominate him for the next couple plays. It's like, damn. So, what can I really do with you? Because if you can't handle either one of these LSU tackles, and this one tackle got T-Rex arms, so and he's getting into your chest and he tossing you around. I just think that, like, during this time of year, names get hot, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe they got Shamar Stewart ranked 23rd. That's just insane.
Over Nick Scorton.
Crazy.
You know why? Size.
Size.
Shamar has the size and the arm length. He looks better in his uniform. I think they start looking at all that type of stuff, because when you look at Nick Scorton, Nick was better against the run. Nick was better against the pass. But Nick is what, 6'3", 260 or something.
I love you know how I love this time of year, because when they say that he has bad pass rush moves, they use this term. He has a raw pass rush plan, needs significant refinement, relies too heavily on pure athleticism. And you're like, why can't you just say bad? He ain't a guy that has a good pass rush moves. They're bad.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but you talking about organizations that get caught up in measurables too much. So there's certain organizations, the Raiders, not only the Raiders, but there are certain organizations that really heavily factor in those analytics. Well, the position says that this guy is X, Y, and Z, so this is where we should draft him, and that doesn't always pan out.
Yeah, that's it. Analytics helped the LA Rams get their Super Bowl, so I can't even lie, man. LA Rams, and then Baltimore Ravens been using analytics for years. I guess that's how they got Nate Wiggins. So,
yeah, I mean, but
what do you think about that? What do you think about the edge rusher from Boston College, though?
Oh, the dude I can't pronounce his name. The African dude.
You can't pronounce his name. It's hard as hell. He's 6'2", 247. He's like he had I've
been on stream as long as Kai Cenat, bro. I have no thinking.
We gonna be out in a minute.
Okay.
3 hours.
I love y'all, man. I gotta lay down.
Man, we finally started talking about football. That's what happened. After the Hendon Hooker debacle.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Man, combine start. I'm about to say combine start today. I'm thinking it's damn near midnight.
It's 10:23. So
we got what, defensive lineman tomorrow? Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the combine. We'll you guys. I think we'll do this next week too. Fuck it, I don't care, because the combine will have some good raw numbers for everything, and that'll be great to be talking about. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, we talked about everything on this podcast, so it's 3 hours. People are gonna just dive into this bitch and see what they like, man. We actually, you know how we talk off camera? We actually recorded it this time, so we good. All right, we'll see you guys in the next podcast. We talk more Detroit Lions football here on the Detroit Lions News podcast. You can follow any portion. I didn't even put the slide up because I effing forgot. But we'll see you on the next podcast. We talk more Lions football. Thanks for watching.
All right, love y'all.